Warning. The Pop Punk Book Club features heavily biased opinions and unapologetically wild takes performed either by professionals or under the supervision of professionals to ensure the safety of performers and animals alike. We may sound confident, but our views are based entirely on personal feelings. Accordingly, the PPBC and the producers must insist that everyone attempt to recreate and reenact these stunts and activities. Join us at poppunkbookclub.com.
Welcome back to the Pop Punk Book Club for Season 2. You didn't get any poppers this time.
Oh, they were such a mess to clean up. There's still...
we haven't cleaned it. It's genuinely...
There's debris left from the pilot still on the floor.
That is true. Don't show people. That's disgusting. No one cleans in here at all. But we have we have started the season with another extraordinarily attractive guest on the lounge. We've got Ben with us here today. So everyone knows, let's be transparent. We were transparent in the Christmas episode. This isn't when people are getting it. It's not the week before. We're actually recording this because Ben's up. So we thought while he's in town, we'd record this episode. Sam's wife may go into labor during this episode.
Yes.
But when this episode actually comes out, you'll be like a month into having a baby.
That's true.
That's kind of crazy.
We're creating some weird time paradox that we did last season that fucked me up.
Well, you did that. You said, because we're wondering where we're going to put this episode in the season. And Sam said, let's make it episode 1 because you know how I'm not good with continuity. And if people listen to the Christmas episode, they'd know. If you have listened to this show before and you joined us in season 1, you would have heard us mention Ben for like about 1 billion times throughout that episode.
You're famous.
Yeah, you are probably the most, most mentioned. Well, definitely, we should know that statistic.
I do feel like I'm here to clear my name.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm here to prove that I can say condom. I've been practicing in the mirror specifically today.
How dare they bring that
but
up?
for the last 15 years in particular.
Condom Man was the funniest thing. Ben was our source of music in high school. If we knew a band, it was probably because of Ben. And now he's here with us doing this. I've been looking forward to this episode since we said we could make it happen.
This podcast may not have happened if it wasn't for Ben and all the bands he's introduced us to.
No, definitely not. So there you go. Thank you.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, then
I also did invite myself, so.
No, this is sick. But I
When
genuinely...
we got to the studio tonight for the shoot, Ben was just on the doorstep, just be like, I'm going to be on this episode. I don't care what you say.
This is completely unplanned.
Yeah.
So for context for everybody, we've had Kale on. We're like slowly working through the close friends group circle. We've pretty much just got Brent remaining.
Yeah.
What a dream to have multiple on at the same time. I've got another spot here on the lounge. I could somehow make that work.
Room for one more.
We could do that at some stage.
Yeah. So how did you guys knew each other? Again, people who listen to the podcast know I came to school later. So you guys, I would assume that you guys were, you were already friends when I met you. So how did you guys meet each other? I don't think I know that.
So we met in year 7 on, it would have been like the second or third day of year 7 because you were on holiday with your dad in, I think, like New Caledonia or something.
Wow, you've got a really good memory. That's I didn't even remember that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's incredible.
Like you missed the start of high school. And then, so we were in the same home economics class and we were like literally the only 2 boys. So we sat next to each other and like gravitated towards one another because there was nobody else we really wanted to talk to. And
I didn't really want to talk to you either.
But you were stuck.
but I did.
But Ben
Little
was
did you know.
So the thing that like I still remember about Ben was that he was the kid that didn't give a what the teacher thought.
You got me in more trouble than I came from a private school before I transferred and I never got in trouble. And in primary school, never got in trouble. I got kept back so many times. There was one time that you got kept back in English because of Ben talking to you and you were a master of talking to people in class. And then whenever the teacher would look, somehow we'd get in trouble, but you were the one like talking to us. And I remember there was one time, I can't remember the teacher's name and I probably shouldn't say names anyway, but she was like a really properly spoken English lady who taught English. And you were standing there and you got kept back and you're like, Miss, it wasn't me talking, it was Ben. And then she said, well, Samuel, if you are lying, may God strike you down. And then she stepped away from the window and just waited. And I went, righto, off to lunch you go then.
No, you're telling the truth. That's good. Good for you. But I still remember from that home economics class, you and I, one of my first memories of you was us doing sewing. Do you remember doing sewing with like the sewing machine?
Yeah, I do.
Who would have thought that's how you met, like bonded, you know?
We bonded because Ben was like on the pedal on the sewing machine, going, like revving it like a car. And going, do you remember this? And then he's just going, look, like talking to the teacher, look, miss, he's masturbating as hard as he can.
I think I think in my defense, it started with me doing some Mozart. I think it was like,
oh yes,
is that Mozart? I think it's Mozart, right? And then I went to the masturbating.
Then went straight to a 15-year-old boy. Man, this podcast is just going to be. That's what we did with Cal. We embarrassed him a lot.
Yeah,
I literally 4 episodes.
We embarrassed each other.
Yeah, you talking about, I'm trying to build a reputable name for myself here in my life. You're talking about people jamming their hand up my bum. You know, me inviting kids around the school ground to do that.
Yeah. Look, I've given up, so you have to give up as well.
But I remember you didn't start school with us
No,
at
I
the
didn't.
same time.
I started in year 9.
But I don't remember when I first met you.
Yeah, I do. How I met you was, and remember, I came from a private school where they were really strict. They used to go around and like, if a little part of your shirt was hanging out, you got an infringement, 2 infringements, a detention, etc. So I never got an infringement even. I was so well behaved, but I was so like raised to be like, don't be disrespectful. Like pay attention to the teacher. And public school was a bit of a shock to me because of how like lax everyone was with everything.
Yeah.
And everyone was so, so much more so than what I just experienced for 2 years of high school. And that's all the high school I knew. And I'm sitting in music class in I can't say names, but in a really cool music teacher's classroom. And I literally feel, I'm not even kidding, like that's my shoulder, right? And I feel, because we're sitting in this big circle and the teacher is talking to the class about, hi, like I'm your teacher for this year and I'm trying to pay straight attention, don't get in trouble in new school, blah, blah. And I feel like about that hard on my shoulder. I was like, what's that? And I turn around and it's you. And you go, you're just sitting on the chair behind me and you're like, do you play guitar, right? And I'm like, yeah, I do. And I look back at the teacher and I'm like, and then I feel on my shoulder again. And you go, yeah. And you're like, I'm getting in trouble with this guy. And you go, do you remember any of this?
Yeah, it's going back
and
to
you
me
go,
now. Yeah.
Can you play any like Blink-182 songs? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, cool. And I'm like, yeah, what? And he goes, can you play What's My Age Again? And I was like, yeah. But you almost thought it was like that was going to catch me out. You're like, can you play What's My Age Again then? I'm like, yeah, I can. Anyway, I'm trying to pay attention. I'm like, don't really know who this guy is. And I was like, oh my goodness. I turn around and you had a guitar in your hands. And you go, how do I do it? Like in front of the class. And then she's looking at me. I'm like, oh, sorry. I'm trying to pay attention between 2 things. And I had to be like, all right, put your first finger on like the 9th fret, the other 2 on the 11th. You're like, and I turn back around and go, like this. And he had it up here and was playing What's My Age Again. That was the funniest thing. But it was What's My Age Again. That was the whole reason we became friends.
Yeah.
Because I had to teach him on the fly in a music class of me trying to like be well behaved. But
So
this
this
is all coming back to me now.
Yeah.
And to be honest, as a listener of the pod, it's one of the things I love most about the pod is that you guys have amazing memories when it comes to our history as a friendship group.
well,
and I love when these things come up. They're like, yeah, I've like kind of removed from my brain, and it's all there. It's all still there.
well, let me challenge that a little bit because you did say just before to Sam, well, you have a great memory. And then you brought up something that Sam didn't know. So you're saying that we have great memories. I think we're all filling in little pieces of the puzzle of like high school life and the era. And together for everyone listening, the broader extension of like what the pop punk genre meant, if you want to look at it that way. But there was something that you said when we got a group chat going a couple of months ago when we were just talking about the idea of doing this episode. And you said, do I remember the parody website that we used to do in high school? I forgot all about that. And then when Sam and I did we just met here one night over the break. We were doing some stuff in the studio and working out season 2 stuff. And then as we were leaving, I said, oh, do you remember Ben? He just said the other day, do you remember he said about the parody website? And then you said to me, oh, it was called Cheese and Bacon. And I was like, no, what? Right?
Oh.
I've done some detective work, right? And I've been so excited to tell you about this. You said it was called Cheese and Bacon. So I went home and I went, I'm going to try to see if I can find any trace of this website
Sure,
online.
it's not on the internet.
Well, I've found it.
Did you get Greg to do this research?
No, I have to do it myself if I want it done properly.
Because I was going to say he's not reliable.
I don't think he knows that we've been on break. He's been showing up and just like, I just keep texting him saying, we're not recording, it's on break.
Well, I haven't been feeding him. So.
But that's the thing, right? So I thought it was called Cheese and Bacon, and I'd tried to scrape the internet and could not find it. The website was not called Cheese and Bacon.
Oh, okay.
But I found the website was called amiright.com.
Yeah, it was.
Am I right?
So why do I think Cheese and Bacon?
Cheese and Bacon was the username.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
which is what I would have said. Cheese and Bacon's the username for sure. Yeah.
Wow.
Right. So speaking of, there was
surely not.
So for everyone listening, there was a parody website that Ben started doing parodies on, amiright.com.
When you say parodies, you would rewrite lyrics to...
Yeah.
Well, you didn't record the song again, but you read the lyrics.
Correct. And it was also like, it was around the time of like Weird Al Yankovic, right?
Yeah. Dial-up internet, so there wasn't much video going on. It was just text. But you would submit, it looked like the lyrics, again, with a new parody and... people would vote them or whatever. And Ben, what happened on that website? What was the infamous incident?
Well, I got kicked off the website from memory.
For what?
For upvoting my own parody over hours one night.
Yeah.
Where I remember clearing the cache.
Yeah.
And re-voting for myself. It cleared the cache.
Because it's such a clunky old site. And the funny thing is like...
And the parody was... I very much remember how terrible the parody was.
Yep.
And that was part of it. It was like...
That's right.
This parody's going to...
Well, Cheese and Bacon TM, by the way, had a meteoric rise and then just a straight ban that came, which made it very difficult because you can use the Wayback Machine on the internet to try to find snapshots of old websites.
Oh.
And I found snapshots of amiright.com with parodies on it. Now, the problem was the search functionality on the website wasn't working because it was a snapshot. So I had to try to find a snapshot of the archive that was between Ben creating the parody and getting banned.
that very small window of probably a day.
That's right.
That's
yeah. But I have to say, I found it. So,
wow.
Believe it or not, it's a parody of What's My Age Again, which is so tied into what he just did for teaching. Maybe I was the one who got that parody in my show.
I was going to say, do you remember the other songs that we did parodies for?
I don't.
They were all disgustingly crass.
Well, there was at least one, though, I remember that was quite clever. You were very witty.
I appreciate that. I think that's very generous. I think it's incredibly generous.
Well, I can tell you now, we don't live on the dial-up internet anymore. We live in the age of AI. And I want to show you guys,
can track this
for
down.
the first time, it should be done with a band.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
I went out, it was a Sunday night. I walked alone, it was midnight. I started looking around for the one for me. I saw her on the corner street, and that's about the time she got a cab with me. We went home until 3. She started playing with my what the hell is cutting out the
I have no memory of this.
So fun.
On the drive home, she in a no parking zone. I said, she looked up and smiled at me, and that's about the time that she gave, which meant I didn't have to. Now I wish I used the proper condom, 'cause I'm glad I didn't have to. It was.
All right, I think that might do.
So what I would say is very generous, Sam, in terms of Ben being witty.
Look, I don't remember that one. And that wasn't the one I was referring to. When
Well, look, I
definitely
think that whole recording might count my mum out now from listening to the podcast.
Just skip forward to the next bit. Yeah, well, a few people left comments on that post. And this is where it gets even funnier. Unnatural Disaster said, that's disgusting. Lebe W15 said, I'm sorry, that was horrible. Jared Lerner said, I just don't understand. Why are you copywriting this? He said, you're supposed to copyright things you're afraid people might steal from you and claim as their own. But if anyone tries to do that with this song, I will personally go to their house and shoot them in the neck. And then Cheese and Bacon TM comments and said, bit close to home, is it, guys?
I think this maybe approves that I was a shitter at heart.
Yes, you were.
Yeah.
Very much. Very funny. And then there was one more comment left that I want to bring up here. It was left by a user named Sam, believe it or not. Who could that possibly be? Everyone else isn't a fan. And Sam says, I think it was a good parody. You aren't receiving the credit you deserve. A bit like Blink-182. No one realizes how good Blink are. So
Is that literally me?
I think that probably would be you.
Yeah.
It has to be. You're the
who
only
would be-
person sticking up for me.
Yeah.
True. And
It has to be you.
Why would I just call myself Sam? Oh,
Totally.
my God. What a fun time.
How embarrassing.
But that was
How
like,
embarrassing.
that was your hobby.
We need to find something really embarrassing for Sam because I have the hand up the butt stuff. You have this and what, I don't know, what you haven't had anything particularly mortifying on this podcast yet.
No.
Where we're all
That's
15
true.
once. We've all grown up
Yeah.
since then,
The
but it
pod
is
is
really
young.
funny to laugh at it. The pod is young, that's right. Anyway, so over the break, we have received quite a few comments on videos that I'd like to bring up with, the show. I guess it's the first admin section for 2026. What's funny? In the Christmas episode, I say multiple times that it's the 2026 Christmas thing. I have thought last year was 2026 all year.
I didn't even pick up on that.
I know. I thought you're looking at things to jump at me for. But you missed that one. And I even put it up online at first as the 2026 Christmas special. Everyone must think, is that a bit or something? No, I'm just an idiot. But welcome to the actual 2026 season 2 of the book club now. It's the first admin section. And so we received, I think we have a hater, like a repeat hater because he's left 2 hate comments now.
That's cool.
Yeah. So his name is
We welcome hate
Dan
comments.
2C. I don't think he listens to the show. He just leaves hate comments every now and then on our reels. He Dan 2C1 I love him now. He's my favorite person. The first time was when I said that I wasn't a huge fan of Smash. Like, I still said I liked the album. I just said that I wasn't a massive fan of it. And it was like, this is blasphemy or whatever. But we put a video up over the break of me saying that the most disappointing album for me personally last season was Starting Line, Say It Like You Mean It. Still liked it. Still thought it was a great album. But people had such high standards for that they made out that album was going to be something incredible and it was going to be like a Hall of Fame album. It's like might be the best pop punk album ever made. And I really wanted something to contend with something like Enema of the State for me. And I don't think it did that.
Yeah, okay.
I still really liked it. But because of that, I would say out of all of the albums we listened to, which were all good, that probably is the most disappointing. Not saying I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But he left a comment. He obviously didn't watch the whole video where I said at the end I liked it. Just got angry and started writing a comment. Said, do you guys even like pop punk? I've seen you talking shit about Smash, The Starting Line. That's it, by the way. But he acted like there was more. Then he goes, what do you consider pop punk? Taylor Swift? No. As I said there, I still liked those albums. They're just not for me. And that's the thing. The book club every music doesn't have to be for everyone.
He's got interesting taste.
If you like Smash and The Starting Line, that is a strange... I've always thought that people who like Smash liked a different style of pop punk. Yeah.
Very different from The Starting Line.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So...
Well, you know what? We welcome further comments from... What's his name?
Are you acting like you don't know? I'm wondering if you planted him. His name's Dan2C1.
Maybe it was
Where's
me.
Kurt been? He backed me up in that first episode. He hasn't come back since.
Yeah.
We got another comment on the Steve-O episode. Someone left a comment and said, best lineup of facial hair on a podcast.
I saw that comment.
Yeah. I think I forgot what you were even talking about. Well, that's awesome. That's really
Steve-O
funny.
complimented my mustache.
I remember
It was the first
he
thing he
had
said
a
to me.
mustache too, right?
He had a mustache,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was
First thing he said to you.
2 mustaches, 1 couch.
Yeah.
Now, I'd pay to see that. Oh, yeah. We did also get a comment that said, I say leave in discussion of bodily fluids in the spirit of our Lords and Savior Blink. Also, hi, Greg. I refuse to pass that on, but you heard nothing. You know, I'm not passing that on. I said he didn't deserve it, so I'll give you your shout outs when you get it. But that's technically the first Greg shout out.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, we'll see.
He might have picked up his game for season 2. He might have been training over the off season.
The bar's really low, so we'll see how it goes from here. But we did get a comment that said, which is a really interesting idea. Where is it? I've got them saved here, but they're all over the place. I can't find it. But the comment said that what we should do is for they suggested as like a recurring segment, or we just do it on an episode, play our music that we wrote when we were younger. I thought that'd be pretty fun. So I figured Ben's here, and you guys were in a band together.
We were.
Back in the day. You were.
For a while.
Yeah, but you guys weren't pop punk.
No.
That's
right.
You started, you made that band just around the time that like emo was becoming quite, like pop punk was shifting quite hard into emo. So
yes, it would have been about
It's
2005.
the Marble verse, though, no? Like,
It is,
It's like the expanded pop punk
yeah.
universe.
Yeah.
Totally.
They said marble verse.
The Marble.
I'm trying to put that
Marvel
together.
verse.
But yeah, no. So I thought we could do that for sure. Let's maybe not do a whole song, but we'll do like a minute or so, minute and a half.
Right now.
Up to we'll have a listen through and then show everyone what we did when. Do you want to do our first songs? Like our first songs we ever wrote?
Yeah.
So for you guys.
I've been embarrassed once already this episode.
Yeah, true.
We may as well make it twice.
So for context, what did you guys do in the band?
I played guitar,
Yeah, that's right. Left-handed.
left-handed.
Yep.
Yep. Sometimes swung it over my shoulder. That was my real
I've
skill.
got video of
that won us a few competitions.
It did.
It did. You
Yeah.
beat me in a competition one year when you did too many guitar swings.
You were playing on like a 2-string guitar.
I was playing in a side project band and the lead singer didn't show up. The same band that I was not meant to be the front man in because my fringe wasn't long enough. He didn't show up. So shorter fringe, but more reliable, you'll say. And then we just threw it together on the night. And I played the guitar just after Kale did because Kale was in that band too. And the string snapped mid-set and I had to try to figure it out on stage. It didn't work.
Is that because Kay was bashing the strings too
Maybe.
hard, do you think?
I'd like to blame it for him anyway. Blame him for it anyway.
But I, in answer to your question, Jay, I sung on this song.
True.
Would we call it singing?
We'll let the viewers decide.
Yeah. I mean, Kale also did some singing
Yeah.
Admittedly,
from memory.
Yeah.
this one is quite heavy. Like this is a heavy song. Like it's you had songs that were a bit more poppier, I guess.
Yes.
But the first song that you wrote was it's quite almost like metal influenced.
Well, Andy,
Yeah.
our original drummer, wrote most of it.
What time signature is that?
I don't know.
4/4.
We recorded this just in that room out there.
Yeah.
Do you remember we didn't have a pop filter, so we used to
Pantyhose.
Yeah, coat hanger with pantyhose over the top of it.
Sexy.
That's Kale, for anyone listening to singing there too.
Yeah.
That's cool. Like, we had like no like gear available to us. Like, but the drums are recorded. They were just electronic drums plugged directly into my laptop. Like,
Yeah.
But it's funny because you guys were actually the first band that I recorded ever. Like, that wasn't my own music.
And the 50th, because it took that much time.
It did take- and your drummer still owes me $20 because he never actually paid the bill. But I think by the way, I think it was like $40 a song or something. It was like the cheapest
Wow.
rates ever. And it took
Did you
so
charge
long.
us?
Yeah, it was like $40.
I don't
It was
remember
just to
that.
buy gear, so to improve the gear.
Yeah, right.
Which I couldn't get much with that money, but it was enough to plug directly into the
I
sound.
thought we just had free access to this place. And
We
were
treated
much
it that
did.
way.
They very much did.
Yeah.
I don't know, that EP that you guys did, it sounds pretty damn good for how low quality it really was. Because we took so much time to like experiment. Blink just did self-titled. So we're like, oh, they
Yes.
sang in the shower. So we get Kale set up in the shower, record, and we'll just experiment. Also, at the end of that track, you can hear all the guitars going, because I was out there fiddling with pedals while you were doing it. And all those little like, I guess to show it's you're not really limited by gear, you're limited by your creativity toward
completely.
like to bring songs to life. So yeah, to me that's when hearing that back.
And your skill in my circumstance.
Well, you were like
All of our skill. Except for
everyone
Brent, he was the
everyone
talented one.
wanted to scream at that time because that was cool to do that. And you somehow managed to do that with no formal training. So I mean, you shouldn't put too much yourself in that.
I remember passing out multiple times.
Passing out.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, particularly in RTN actually. When we recorded the first one,
Wow.
I remember because that was really early on before I
Yeah.
like learnt how to breathe through it.
How to breathe. That's funny.
Yeah,
so you
I-
just scream until you passed out, and that was it. That was the session.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, and it's funny because like we obviously can't go through the whole EP. I mean, maybe we could do that for like a standalone episode. I mean, we're both expecting kids this year, so like there might be a few missed weeks. Who knows?
Yeah.
Just empty couches with our old songs playing.
But yeah, I mean, we could go through the EPs. I mean, imagine that brutally rating each other's like songs. But that EP is actually decent, and I think that like even re-recording it now with modern production would be pretty sick. Like there's some cool songs on that. But I'll show you my first song that I ever did. I'll bring us back to a bit of pop punk because we were quite pop punk.
Is it always mine?
I would have heard this song
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, you would have heard this one. When I talked about, I think in the Newfound Glory episode about the night before we recorded our first demo, this is it. So this is the song from that. It's the first song we ever wrote. It is structurally identical to Damn It, even to the point where wait till you hear in the second verse, we do the exact same shots that Blink do live because we had no idea what we're doing. Yeah, so I wrote this when I was 14. You're going to be hearing 15-year-old Jason. I played guitar and sang in this, how we gonna say it.
This is such a throwback.
Yeah.
But she sounds a bit more Sum 41 than Blink, even though it's
Really?
structurally the same stuff.
Yeah, right. I always thought the production came out sounding like MXPX. I've never.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Little 15-year-old boy. I felt so old, but I was so young. Hey, damn it's in C, we're in D, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Listen to these shots. It's the exact same as Damn It.
And the halftime chorus as well.
Yeah. This song went off live, but we're so embarrassed playing it.
You're embarrassed?
Just because it was our first song.
Even back then.
And shortly after.
Yeah.
Because you're always like, this is my new song.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, I think the last time we played that was the EP launch for the first EP we did. And I was like, this is embarrassing because it's our first song we ever recorded or whatever. But I found that recently and I listened to it and I was like, I'm pretty stoked for that being my first song that I ever wrote. Like,
Yeah,
it's,
it holds
catchy.
on.
To
It
write
holds
that
up.
at 14.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, then again, we recorded it in literally the same room that Silverchair recorded Tomorrow, so it wasn't that good compared to how good Silverchair were. But that's it. So for that comment, so there you go. You wanted to hear our songs. We've got plenty more of our own music that we could spread out, but I don't know about it being a regular segment. That feels a little bit self-indulgent, and I think that people don't come here for that. But to get to know us a bit better, I guess that's serves a purpose.
I think it'd be
maybe-
too traumatic to relive it every week.
Yeah,
too. I
true.
don't-
Can't just have an outro every week where it has a new.
Oh, we should do that. I actually thought about that. There are plenty of people, and if you're in a pop punk band listening and you want your music on the show somehow, maybe we have like an outro music brought to you by a certain band. But we put ourselves up for risk of being copyright struck, and we won't copyright strike ourselves. We can also
There
put
you
our
go.
own music. There you go.
But that if the band submits it to us, presumably they wouldn't strike us either. Would
You
they?
know, so there could be a part of a grand
publisher
conspiracy scheme of stroking, big master stroke of scheme.
Big master stroke.
All right, so first album of the season, Boxcar Racer.
Yeah, know what people may think for a pop punk show. You know what I mean?
I think it's in the,
It's definitely pop punk
what
adjacent.
did you call it before? The Marvel universe?
It's
Yeah.
the pop punk metaverse.
Metaverse.
That's,
that's
I
right.
like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Pop punk metaverse.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
definitely more punk than pop punk, but it's yeah. Tell people to fuck off if they want to start debating whether we can do certain albums.
You said on another
seriously,
episode-
this is
It's your
this is our
podcast,
Yeah,
guys.
exactly.
Yeah.
He said, I think it serves the podcast better if we include more albums than just doing like 6 albums. And even then, people would still get mad at us for it, for sure.
But Ben was kind enough to bring his own personal copy, even though we've actually got one on the set. Which is
Yeah.
cool.
But
did.
you said before about what's really cool about that is inside there is a Boxcar Racer poster.
Yeah.
And I think there's a pretty bare part of the wall up there. So I think it needs to go up on the wall. We have sticky tape somewhere. So if it doesn't go up, I think it's out in the other room. But we'll definitely have it up for next episode for sure. But we will contribute that to the set. And every time you see it, you'll know it's from Ben.
Yeah.
But you can see right there where
Maybe
it
you
needs
should
it.
sign that as well.
Yeah. So that's
You just
the-
love people signing stuff for you. 'cause
That's
they get the
that's my
blank
original copy. Actually, are all these original from?
No, these are from the Mosh Pit at Cardiff.
Gotcha.
I went and bought them again.
That's the original.
That's
I have
the one.
noticed that Saves the Day isn't there.
No.
Ooh.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
First Saves the Day
so
reference.
We went out
Yes.
for dinner when we caught up with Ben, and Ben gave us Christmas presents, and my Christmas present was his old Saves the Day album. So,
Have you listened to it yet?
no,
Oh.
but I
Some 41's there though.
Yep.
That was that was Sam's present.
That was my
yes,
present.
I just forgot to bring it, but I've got it at home. I'm cherishing it, and I said it was
I
definitely going to be
reckon
added to the
you
set.
put it straight in the bin.
Don't do that. I'll take it. I like
No,
that.
of course not. I'm keen to give him a second try. Have you not realized how much when I talk about my 15-year-old self, I don't think I have it all figured out back then. So I've definitely grown. So I think there's a lot that I'll definitely change from that.
But we asked you what album you wanted to do
Yeah.
when you were coming on the pod, and
Yep.
you chose this album.
Yeah.
Why did you choose this?
This album was really important for me.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, when I invited myself on the pod,
That's true.
I was,
Yeah, that's true. Sorry. Should have said.
I was like, this is the album I have to do.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'll go into detail like
Yeah,
why
we'll do song by
it's that
song.
album, but yeah, it was like it's not an album that I've listened to regularly in say
Yes.
15 plus years.
I don't think I'd listened to it for that long. For sure.
I
But-
have. I revisit
Okay.
this album every now and then because
Do
I
you
just
do?
know how much I like it.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's also maybe, and correct me if I'm wrong, because you're more familiar with this metaverse, but I feel like it's underrated.
Oh,
as an album.
it's
Yeah, I agree.
It seemed like if you get it, like if you know, you know. Like if you know Boxcar Racer, you typically would like them. I don't know many people that would like, oh, I've heard a couple of their songs because they weren't really pop. It was kind of like, you're right about being like the multiverse kind of idea. You had to be in through Blink to be able to get to Boxcar Racer. And then you'd kind of have to be already kind of nerding out about the genre to get that album anyway. Perhaps people listening now might not have ever heard this album, but because they never really were big Blink-182 fans. So didn't get excited when there was this idea of like a darker side project by Tom DeLonge.
Yes.
And there's also one album, right? That's the other
Yeah.
the other main part is that like
Yeah.
they don't build necessarily a fan base around
True.
the band.
It's like a cult album.
Yeah.
It says here in the document that like the band formed in 2001 and this is their only album. And I wrote bad, but good because it's so good as one. Maybe they wouldn't have been able to follow it up and Boxcar would have been like, oh, their first album was good. They just go out legendary because
They
of
do.
Yeah.
this album
Yeah.
being so
Like
good.
it's literal one-hit wonder
Yeah.
in terms of an album. What's really interesting is how it all fits in like the Blink chronology. I had never appreciated this, but like, so this comes out in 2002. And like the band Boxcar starts at the end of 2001. That's the same year that Take Off Your Pants and
yeah,
Jacket
Top Edge comes out, yeah.
gets released. And so And then the other crazy thing is like, and there's quite a bit about how this caused tension between Tom and Mark.
I always thought that when I first heard about it, I just thought Mark was cool with it. And it was really interesting reading in actually Mark Hoppus's we've got it here, the autobiography. His perspective on Boxcar Racer, he was gutted by it.
Yeah.
And also like kind of driven paranoid by it for ages. Like in the book, he talks about being backstage and the manager coming in and being like, oh, is there a meeting on? And he's like, no, I just need Tom and Rick, their manager.
Yeah.
And would go into another, sorry, not the manager, it was the label guy came in and was like, I need to talk to them. And there's a lot of like quiet meetings. And when he'd come into the room, they'd stop talking about it. And it's like, what's going on with my band? And like, what is happening? So
much going behind his back.
Yeah, exactly.
And people coming up to ask him like, oh, what's going on with Tom's new project? And he didn't know about it.
And also he said in the book that it was meant to be just an acoustic project of like doing just acoustic songs. And it turned into like a full-blown band signed to a label. Travis was playing in it. And he said it just felt like Blink-182 without Mark. And it was like, it really hurt him. And it was really interesting to read.
I also sometimes like after I think I watched the episode that you guys did on Blink's Untitled, where you talked about this a little bit, right? I went back and listened to the Boxcar album and was like, tried to think about how it might have sounded to Mark.
Yeah.
And I think so many of the songs, you could listen to them in a way that like feels so pointed.
Yeah.
In terms of they could be about Mark. You know?
That's actually a really good point. I hadn't thought about that. Like how long was Tom kind of like feeling animosity towards him and resentment?
Or maybe not necessarily about Mark, but about like how he feels about Blink now.
It's so classic in bands for people to feel like they've creatively outgrown their band. Just talking about Silverchair before, they stopped playing Tomorrow Live because Daniel Johns used to say, here's the song the only song people know by us or something like, or the only song people like about us. It's like, we've outgrown that, listen to our new stuff. And they want to just completely distance themselves from it. And I think that Tom had so much creativity that he maybe felt like Blink wasn't the avenue to push it down. Yeah. So he kind of was also going through back surgery and stuff. So he was wanting to write heavier stuff. Emo was emerging. So it was very kind of like culturally appropriate. So I can see like all the stars were aligning. But Blink-182 at that point, especially also reading in Mark's book, it seems that the label were really pushing this. We want more of what sold, like for Anima. Yes. And originally, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. Have you read Mark's memoir?
No,
so in that, it says that they gave that, you know what? Like they were like, fuck you. You want to tell us to write like a pop album? We're not doing that. We're going to write like a darker, kind of heavier punk album, whatever. Did it and gave it to the label, and they're like, "Where's the singles? Like, there's no singles in this." And like, we don't want singles. Blah blah blah. And then they were like, no, we need singles. And both Mark and Tom, without knowing each other was doing this, went home angry, saying, you want a fucking single? I'll give you one. Next day, came into the studio, was like, here's the demo for a single. Take that. We wrote it last night. Mark had written Rock Show and Tom had written First Date. And if you take First Date off and Rock Show off the album, Take Off Your Pants Jacket is like a darker kind of punk album. But it was like they were kind of touching on that already. So maybe Tom felt creative. I'm putting words in their mouth here and kind of psychoanalyzing a bit, but maybe Tom felt like the label was restricting Blink-182 or Blink-182 was restricting him so creatively. So he felt the need to do Boxcar. But Mark was like, look at how much we're ready to be creatively different. And Tom went and did that without me. But when he came back, notice the next album is like all of their creativity unlocked, because it was almost like, there's a note here that says, Tom said, he felt creatively constrained during the recording of Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. He said, I was getting kind of bummed out in the studio. It's probably my fault because I never said, but I just wanted to get in there and try things out. But you feel like you can't because the band is paying for studio time. And I said, that's probably why Blink did Untitled so unrestricted, where they bought a house and it took them a year just to track them. And
it's interesting to think, like, obviously Boxcar created so much tension and created a lot of, like, it sowed the seeds for a lot of problems within the band.
Yeah.
But we probably don't get the Untitled Blink album without Boxcar, because
what would that have been?
Yeah.
It could have been more label pressure. And it's like, well, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. I saw an interview of them talking about that where they were like, oh, we just really hope that it's going to do as well as Anima. And it did nearly as well as Anima. Like they've recorded two of the biggest albums of the genre. And they may have just gone, we need more of that. Keep churning that out.
Yep.
And the third, or not third, but you know what I mean, like in that series, that album the Untitled Blink album could have been something completely different.
Yeah. Instead, we get something that's more like diverse and they're challenging themselves and being more creative. Yeah.
And at the end of that Untitled album, Tom's talking about how much of a toll that took on him, right?
He said that I was about to say in the book where Mark said he's like celebrating in the car. You mentioned this on that Blink episode too, where he's like, we did it. And Tom was like, I hope I never have to go through that again.
Yeah.
Because they're like in two totally different journeys.
It's almost like that Mark wanted to prove that they could do the Boxcar album as Blink.
That Blink could
and
do
so that's what the Untitled album is. And I read them, like I found myself while I was while I was going through and rating the album, I found myself referring to both Take Off Your Pants and Jacket and Untitled so many times.
Yeah, it's perfectly
because
in the middle, doesn't it?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's funny that because before Mark's memoir, before any of that, I just remember from back in the day that Tom saying that, yes, it caused problems in the band, but he never intended it. He wasn't trying to do Blink without Mark. He can kind of see how that could kind of look that way, but he just needed a drummer and was like, Travis, do you want to play for it? But he wouldn't see that he didn't see at the time that left Mark kind of by himself. But because Mark's on Elevator, I was like, oh, he must just be cool with this project.
Do you also imagine it without Travis though?
Yeah,
as well.
It would not have been as good.
Yeah, like it couldn't be anyone but Travis.
No, he's. I have a note in a later song, but like his barky style, like loud, brappy kind of drums with the old offbeats. That's what makes Boxcar.
Yeah.
Like he's as important as Tom is to Boxcar.
And do you really think, like, I know Tom said like he got Travis to play on it because he didn't want to pay like a session drummer. Like
he was the biggest drummer in the world at the time. You have him right at you know, beck and call essentially.
And I mean, like, surely he wasn't short on money. Like, I think he could quite easily have got a session drummer if he wanted. I think he probably clearly wanted Travis. And I think Travis has talked about when they were on tour for Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, he and Tom were jamming like every night backstage and jamming this like darker, slower, heavier type stuff.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like how it kind of began.
Yeah, right. I just think it's very creatively inspired. Like you don't hear that in a lot of albums. Sometimes you just hear like an album full of great songs. There's not really a correlation, I think, between creative inspiration and quality of music. Because you have albums that are super creatively inspired, yet not good. Like they don't sound good, but they're just coming from a really like interesting creative place. But you have some albums, you just win when you get both categories up. But I feel like this is an example of an album that sounds so creatively inspired. It doesn't sound like he's trying to chase a trend. It seems like this was building up inside him. He had to let it out and he did it on an album. And this feels so raw and authentic that it kind of needed to come out. And maybe, I don't know, it's very complicated, but maybe there was a lot of tensions between them. I get that. And I wasn't there. I'm just going off what everyone's stories are and just to inform my own perspective on it. Like that matters. But I just feel like maybe Tom just felt like the Blink wasn't the channel to do that through. Because it was only shortly after that he wanted to do Angels and Airwaves and thought it was going to change the world. Like he had some bigger creative vision.
I think it's totally fair as well if he doesn't think that Blink is the best vehicle for these ideas that he's got. He doesn't want the constraint of the Blink expectations. It totally makes sense that he would want to do that and then not necessarily have Mark involved because then it makes all of a sudden it becomes Blink. And those expectations would be placed on it regardless of whether you call it Blink or you call it something else.
Immediately you'd have a label on your back being like, this can't be Blink-182.
Yeah.
Like, it's really strange. But I think, I don't know, reading Mark's book really opened my eyes to that side of the story because it wasn't just a thing of like, oh, I got blindsided one day with like, oh, my best mate's starting a new band. Because I mean, that would hurt people's feelings regardless. Yeah. I've been in bands where I've played in a side project band and band members have gotten like jealous of like, I don't want you to, what we have. It's like being in a band is such a spiritually like brotherhood thing. It's like, it feels genuinely like if you have a band member that has to leave, you have to kick a band member out and you run into him. It's like running into an ex-girlfriend. Like, it's like, what are you doing with your life? Well, I'm in a new band. Oh, how's that? Like, that sort of thing. Anyway, but it's like, I feel like with Mark, like I understand him being hurt. But I don't know. I just think that from seeing it from his perspective, it wasn't just a blindside out of nowhere. It was just a slow paranoia that got built up over time that was not him thinking about it out of nowhere. It like drove him crazy about this. He's like this fucking Boxcar band, man. Like I'm just so kind of over it. Because also when he said he agreed to it being an acoustic album to write some different songs, and he's like, all of a sudden it's on our label, it's our manager, like my band without me.
It's basically the same thing without him.
Yeah. And I'm sure that there are riffs on that were riffs that were not used on Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. They like you would have been like, that's riffs that we could have used. Yeah. You even hear in the Untitled Blink album documentary that he's playing the Up All Night riff. So like Tom has riffs like that have been around forever.
But this animosity between them continues, right? Like it becomes a part of their story well after Boxcar, Untitled.
Yeah. And then
Plus
they
44 gets formed.
Yeah, they separated
and they stopped talking for like more than a decade.
Yeah.
Right? You know, so it kind of starts here.
Plus 24 is a good example because the Plus 24 album is quite good from my memory. I haven't rated it, so I don't really know exactly where it sits, but it's good. Like it's a good album, but I don't feel like it's as creatively inspired as this. It's just a collection of really good songs. I think that's a good example of that.
My impression of it as well.
Yeah. I don't not like it. I love that album. So Dan 2C3 Hater or whatever he's called. I love that album. I think it's fantastic. I just think that this one sounds more creatively inspired. He said that he was influenced by Fugazi and Refused. And I'm like, I can totally hear that. I've been able to hear Fugazi in this since high school because I liked Fugazi as well. But who wasn't keen when you heard Tom DeLonge was doing a darker album with Travis? Like everyone was hyped on this album. And then even more so when you found out that that was getting brought back to Blink-182 in some way. You wouldn't get a second Boxcar album, but you kind of got Boxcar sprinkled throughout Blink. Even on the One More Time, Terrified sounds a lot like Boxcar Racer. Like
Totally.
there's still some riffs in there that you can just hear that it's itching. Maybe now's the time for a new Boxcar album, like a mature.
That would be cool. But just, it's funny how like as Blink fans, we had no idea that animosity was going on. Certainly during the early stages. And you know what's really interesting is
they were the fun, happy band that everyone loved to joke around with. You didn't think there was tension like that.
And so you were talking about before there was a meeting backstage where like the label person came over and separated Mark from the others. That was backstage at The Tonight Show. Mark talks about it in his book where they play, I think, First Date.
All right.
And so it's like we've seen videos of that song and it's like it looks like the band on stage. Like you have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. And what's even crazier is you know how they did the Pop Disaster tour with Green Day?
Yes.
And we've all seen the
Writing Advance of Boys.
Like, we loved that documentary.
Yeah.
That was happening, that tour was happening right before the Boxcar album came out. Like the album was released while they were on that tour.
Have you seen that video where they're all sitting together? I'm not sure what show it's on, but it's Green Day up in the front row and then Blink in the back. And they asked Tom about Boxcar. They asked Tom and Travis with Mark there, and the tension, you could like cut it with a knife.
I've seen that.
I
That's
don't
crazy.
remember that.
I'll see if I can find it. Yeah.
Oh, because I remember like my memory of that documentary is that like they just seemed like a normal band.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, they did in the documentary, but there is this one clip that I've seen.
Oh, okay.
Where the interviewer asked questions about this new album, and it's just so obvious that,
Mark
and even
like
Green
sees
Day
up.
sitting there like,
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and they had tensions between bands, so if Green Day can know. But also Mark said, and that was kind of really disappointing to read a little bit, was that he said on stage, like they're known for taking jabs at each other. And he said sometimes at one point we stopped joking. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like they
that's
started
sad.
actually going at each other. Like that's really sad to think that, as you said, all the documentaries we watched, all these fun memories, thinking that they're putting it on for the camera, but as soon as the cameras are off, they're like, see ya, and just go back to their own like rooms or whatever. And just Tom's already thinking about being out of Blink, essentially.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it had to go full circle to come back to where they are now and make everybody cry with the One More Time video, Everyone got teary at that.
So I don't think I knew about the tension.
Oh, yeah.
But I think I was also late to the party about finding out about Boxcar.
Is that because we were just late in Australia in general, or?
Well, I didn't know, so I know you guys talk about like how you found out about the album.
Yeah.
But Sam told me about this album, and I know you guys have talked about.
You got one.
I
You
won.
gotta win. You gotta win. Yes. Finally.
This was one where, you told me about it.
I have no memory of that. I have no memory of how I learned about Boxcar. If someone had said to me or asked me how I found out about them, I would have just
So
said,
that was
probably
that
Ben told me.
was I had a note of that question, like how did you find out about it? Because I remember being annoyed that I was like, and not annoyed that you knew something that I didn't, but annoyed that I thought I knew the Marvel verse. It's like I knew what was happening over there, so I was like, my eyes were elsewhere, and suddenly you were like, yeah, but what about that band?
So I wonder where I heard about it then.
I don't know.
Don't look at me because I never found new album. I listened to a bit of music outside of the genre too, and maybe I could have told people about that. But I was always given music to listen to rather than me actively searching for it.
Because I feel like 2001, 2002, like the internet was around and we had it, but it just like it wasn't like we were spending all of our time on the internet.
It's so easy
back
to
then,
forget how limited the internet was back then compared to now. Like you can just be like, oh, surely you would have been able to like look it up on YouTube. It's like YouTube was still like 10 years away from existing.
There's no,
So then what were your ways of finding music?
You guys. Whenever you guys would say, have you heard about a new band? I think magazines as well. Like you'd see a band and go, they look cool. I want to check them out. And then you'd try to like, or go to a CD shop, whatever they're pushing in a CD shop.
I remember going to like the local JB Hi-Fi, which is a local
or
store.
Sanity.
And like actually like, oh, that's a cool cover. Like, I'll go and like,
Admittedly, I would look at music magazines and be like, they look cool. I want to check their music out. And sometimes I was disappointed. Other times it was cool.
The other thing I remember that I had access to, that I know you guys didn't, is my dad lived in Sydney.
Yeah.
And so I was going to Sydney every second weekend.
Right.
And I would regularly go to Resist Records.
Yes. Oh, this was a huge record.
Yeah. And I remember we all went down there multiple times as well.
Yeah.
But I was regularly going to kind of Newtown, which had a number of record stores, Resist being a really big one.
Yes.
And so like I think as well as the like going to the shops here, maybe some online torrenting.
Some punk rock vids on EF now.
Punk rock vids.
We used to share the videos around. That's how we found heaps of bands. And that was almost like a little teaser, like a taster, because you get a punk rock vid bootleg recorded on a handycam in the crowd. And you'd be like, I love this band because I've watched this video 100 times. I'm going to try to get the album. You buy the album and then you end up liking the band or not. Like it would slowly just step you into liking the band or not.
Yeah.
Like just quickly, what are some punk rock vids that you remember? I remember Atreyu doing Right Side of the Bed at and you can find that one on YouTube. Pretty much like the entire set of Brand New and Taking Back Sunday playing at the Tulagi in I think it's in Colorado or something. It's like recorded in the crowd, just a handheld
Was there
one.
a bunch of shows at like the Troubadour?
That
I think
rings a bell.
so. I also remember From Autumn to Ashes, where the guy comes out in the big flannelette shirt doing Milligram Smile. No, is it not From Autumn to Ashes? Is that what's the Milligram Smile band? I think it's From Autumn to Ashes.
I don't know.
It
was never my thing.
It was like a
Does that
heavy.
website still exist?
We saw From Autumn to Ashes.
It wasn't a website. It was a file sharing network.
It was like IRC.
It was like a channel. Yeah.
But the crazy thing was how long it took. Like we'd put one on before it goes to bed. You get on the dial up.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, mum would pick up the phone at 8 o'clock, like, and then like if you were lucky, the internet wouldn't have like clunked out in the middle of the night, and you would wake up to one 3-minute video of From Autumn to Ashes playing the Troubadour.
Yeah,
or
what a different time.
Yeah, totally.
Isn't it cool though that we like came of age, at least to some extent, during a time pre-internet when you would find out things from going to a record store or something like that. Like that's nice that we existed in that world. Because nowadays kids, they won't know what that is.
Completely. But also I think like you valued something like a CD or even that one video that took all night to download because it took all night to download. So therefore you value that thing.
Sure.
Which like,
to do it,
I don't value any of the views on YouTube. I've got access to,
That's the problem. If you don't like an album now, you just skip to the next one and people don't give albums a chance. And everyone writes creatively safer.
I want to go back to, just really quickly, not knowing about the Boxcar album and you introducing it to me. And I think, so I took my dad to buy Enema of the State in year 6 when it came out.
12.
Yeah. And What's My Age Again was huge. And so he agreed to like take me to go and buy the album. And I remember bringing it home and being really excited. My dad's name is Gary.
Yeah.
And do you know the story?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I just dysentery Gary, right?
Yeah, dysentery Gary. Like, got a lot of heartache. He's a weasel.
Yeah.
So I come home, I put it on. I said, Dad, there's a song about Gary, about you. I put it on.
Because none of us knew what dysentery was.
No,
totally.
No idea.
And the CD went back to the store that same day.
Oh, he returned it?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, he returned it. So,
that's so good.
And so that was like, I think like that was my intro to Blink, I think, probably. Yep. And then Take Off Your Pants and Jacket was the follow-up album, which I loved. But by that stage, I was like, I felt like I knew what Blink was, which is maybe why Boxcar just missed my radar.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Blink. This is where they're up to in their like discography.
And it was a bit before like we started getting into darker, heavier like bands as well.
Well, it's the point I want to make with this album is like it was a gateway drug for me.
Oh,
like
sure.
it was the band that got me into everything else that came next, which was kind of screamo and then hardcore and so on.
If we had news more, if news was more accessible to us back then of the genre, like it was really hard to actually find good news in the genre, right? You'd have to find websites or whatever. Like if it was like social media, this would have been one of the biggest stories. Like at the time of like, can you believe that like Blink-182 at their peak, like they're already doing a side project.
MTV News it probably was, but we just wouldn't have really
had it. We didn't get MTV out here. None of us had like cable or Foxtel or whatever to be able to watch it out here. So,
and it probably was a big story. We just didn't get it.
So I told you about Boxcar apparently, not that I remember it. But do you know the other band that I introduced you to? I think it's the only other band I probably told you about in the entire time we've been friends.
Oh, don't tell me.
Saves the Day.
Oh, of course you did. Yeah, of course you did.
It was my other big win.
Yeah.
And that one
it was big win, and I love Save the Day.
Subjective. Alrighty, so let's get into it. First song of season 2, I Feel So. Would you give it?
I said Crown.
I said a Crown as well.
Ooh.
Would you give it some?
That Flame.
Really?
Whoa.
For a Feel So. I can understand
Nice.
that. This is such a good song.
I thought about Flame.
And it's such a, I don't know. This one is all the emotion that we like a teenager felt. So it came at a perfect time too. So this is like like an era, like perfect Flame.
That's
potential.
exactly my comment. Like this song for me, at least, just totally encapsulated my teenage.
Yep.
Like it was what I, as a upper middle class kid, with no issues. It perfectly encapsulated my angst.
The only friend I had that had a tennis court at his house.
Yeah, true.
It's true.
Do you remember we would like burn tennis balls on that tennis court? We never used it to play tennis, I don't think.
No, we played tennis with those flaming tennis balls.
That's what I'm saying.
You
we
did that
played
at school
tennis
one
with-
day. You lit a tennis ball on fire and kicked it under Richmond's legs because a teacher came around and he's sitting there with his legs like this and like, is everything all good down here? Like, yes, miss. And there's like smoke coming up behind his leg. Flaming tennis balls. I think, you remember I said with Obvious that everything sounds so angry. Like everything in the production sounds angry and reflects that same angst. And like Travis has this like barky drum sound, which is funny because it's Travis Barker, right?
Sure.
But like really barky drum sound. I love that. You can hear that so much in this and it all pushes that same angst, everything. Even starting with the piano is what so many other bands did, but it came off like corny and overly emotional and cheesy. But this sounds exactly like it should.
Yeah.
It's such a, because I was thinking that when I was listening to it the other day, this of a brand new like project, how did Tom want, or the band, or the producer, whatever, like whoever's idea it was, but they all okayed it. How did they want people to first hear it? And it's not coming in with a loud rocky bit or a big loud riff or something. It's just this pretty piano line on like a broken sounding piano, but not in a way that sounds overly emotional or cheesy. And then it just cracks in with this long extended instrumental. Like it's not straight into the words or whatever. And then, but when it comes into the words, everything sucks back into the lines of it hitting as hard as it does, and how emotionally vulnerable Tom is immediately on this album. You're like, oh, so this is what the Boxcar is going to be.
It's interesting in terms of like, you talk about like how he wanted to present this new project, because it's like we all bring our expectations to this into, like, because of what we know of Tom and what we know of Blink. And I think this song's a really great opener because it like, there's enough of it there that if you like Tom, you're going to enjoy it because it's got like his vocal style, like the pop sensibility is still there when the vocals come in. But the full band stuff it's totally different to the sound of Blink. Everything's dirty and grimy, and
it has a rawness to it, doesn't it? Yeah. And it feels different.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
from the get-go, it feels different. It feels like the tone, the needle shifted.
It's like, and this is exactly what it is. It's like a guy who writes really good pop punk songs trying to write like his favorite post-hardcore bands or whatever. He doesn't quite get there, but he finds this really like accessible middle ground. It's really interesting though, because I loved this song back in the day, but I got really tired of it like for years. I think I just heard it too much. And it's like the song, if people are going to put Boxcar on, they'll put I Feel So on. And I kind of got a little bit over it, especially because there's other songs on the album I liked more. So maybe like a year ago I might have just, or maybe I thought going into it that I was going to rate it a great. But I was like, no, this. I think I haven't listened to it for long enough for me to actually hear it like a reset slate again. And it's like, it actually is so good.
That chorus is epic.
Yeah, but
it's so good. Also, but just going back to the intro, interestingly, while I was doing some research, I went and watched the film clip, and the film clip cuts part of the intro. Because it goes from the piano to the acoustic.
Yep.
And then it comes in. But I think in the film clip they cut the acoustic bit.
All right.
And it's actually better.
Oh,
it hits harder because it just goes piano and then it.
Yeah, because
I wonder
the piano
if they
kind of serves the purpose of the. Like the acoustic is a similar thing to the piano. It's the soft kind of emotional intro.
I wonder if the radio version also like shortened the instrumental section before the verse.
Yeah.
It's pretty long.
How long is the song?
I don't know how long the song is in total.
We don't just have that data on hand.
No, I don't know that, unfortunately.
Is that a job for
Greg? Yeah,
I don't know.
Greg, how long is the song?
I have
Yeah, I wonder if it's a rate, because what were the singles?
I Feel So was the first one.
And there is, right?
And there is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, interesting for on both accounts.
Right. But you're starting the season off with a flame. That's sick.
That's good.
Yeah, that's really good. Crown and a flame. That's
I picked the album. It was an important album for me.
Fair enough. Expected. Yeah. But speaking of the chorus, so something that surprised me a lot on this album, especially being like musically trained when I was younger, is that hearing the way that Tom DeLonge does key changes, and does them a lot in Boxcar Racer, but not in a way that people typically do, which is usually just going back into the chorus but raising it at semitone or a tone and just lifting the song up. Like we thought it was really strange there was that band that did a key change that went down once, but typically it's just taking the same chord progression and transposing it, right? Tom does these weird like augmented style like key changes where it goes to a different key, but then it goes back into the normal like key of the song. And I had to get my head around it musically, going like in music theory, how does that even work? And Tom DeLonge, I never thought that I would be dissecting his music like that or his writing like that. And I thought maybe it's a fluke. Like maybe he's just kind of figured that out as
this sounds good.
This sounds good, so we'll do it. But he does it on so many tracks. So I was like, oh, it has to just be a formula then that he's like, I don't know, why am I always downplaying it? But maybe because I just saw him as like a a guy who writes pop punk. Like it's nothing too musically complicated. But then it's not always the same. And I had to just be like, well done to him. Because even Silverchair, like Daniel Johns is an incredible songwriter, but in Anna's song, for example, like the way that shifts keys into the chorus is totally like it completely shifts. But to me, that I would expect that from someone at that level. But this showed a level of musicianship that I didn't expect on any Tom DeLonge project. In saying that, I'm not saying that I don't expect him to be musically talented. I just thought it'd be in different fields, like riff ideas and production ideas. Not this. I never thought he'd master key changes, but it was incredible for that.
And tell me, is the Boxcar album the first album where he shifted from the Fender to the Gibson?
Oh, maybe.
No, I'm pretty sure
I think he
still
played a
playing...
Strat for Boxcar.
Yeah,
it's still Strat, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Gibson was Untitled Blink.
That happens in Untitled.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because that really felt like, and that's maybe something that I love so much about this song, is that guitar tone with the drums.
So barky.
Just felt so exciting.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
It, like so raw, so big.
It's massive.
Could not be a flame for me.
Yeah.
What? Couldn't not be a flame.
Couldn't not.
I think they said could not be a flame. Oh, we'll have a live rescinding of it. Actually, it's too big.
It's just a good. Actually, I've changed my mind.
All right, All Systems Go. What'd you give it?
I gave it a crown.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I said great, but I was back and forth with great or a crown for this one.
What'd you say?
I also gave it a flame.
Double flames.
Right.
It's double flames, straight up.
We're not
This
giving the
is
high
cool.
fives out for the flames, I guess, because we don't have, we're selfishly not doing that.
Do we normally high five though when it's a joint flame?
Maybe. I think I'd sometimes just celebrate your flames for you. I don't know. But we'll do that because
It's a new thing for this season. High fives for a flame every time.
every flame.
I really started, like, once I got to the second track, I was like, oh, it's a flame again. I was like, what does he give out flames for this whole album?
Yeah.
I really need to be a bit more discerning.
You did text today and you say, what's the record for most amount of flames on that? So I'm interested about that.
But I did go back a number of times, particularly with the flames, just to like double check.
Yeah. But you know when it's a flame. And that's the thing, like, you can't deny. I mean, when we did Does This Look Infected, I was a bit self-conscious on the day of making it look like I was just sucking up to Steve-O, being like, every song's a crown. But if he was here or not, I would rate it the same because I really feel like every song that I gave a crown to deserves it. I'm not going to, as I said, I'm not going to be paid off. I'm only going to rate them what I want. I loved this one so much when I was younger. Like it probably would have been a flame, but I'd play it so much back in the day.
More than All Systems Go? Sorry, more than
I Feel So?
I Feel So?
Yeah. So I think that and maybe this is kind of like reflected even in our like songs that we showed, like our first songs. I liked like the emo music that's coming out, but quite selectively. But I loved other genres too. But if we're just talking about the pop punk metaverse, as we said, I liked pop punk stuff better. But I went a kind of a different way. I loved more like as it was moving, like Your Favorite Weapon, Brand New, into Taking Back Sunday, like if Tell All Your Friends, into Where You Want to Be. Like that's where I kind of found it. I wasn't as big of a fan of bands like Silverstein and those types of emo bands, but I know you guys were.
Well, this is I think where that album took us. It took us to like me, and I think you as well.
Yeah,
but it took us to Silverstein. Census Fail, Sayerson.
I loved Census Fail. I think that as I was saying, I love Funeral for a Friend too. Yeah. I loved metal, so like I would just go to metal rather than find like a halfway point. You know what I mean? Okay. So like, but All Systems Go to me, it had that familiarity of the major key, like just sitting on the A or whatever it is at the start, and then the offbeat stuff that Travis does of the bat, like it's not a straight drum beat. I love the groove because I loved Limp Bizkit when I was growing up, so I love like all the hip hop beats style stuff, and has a bit of that in it.
So this one for me really, like I really oscillated back and forth between Crown and Flame. And the chorus for me feels very Take Off Your Pants and Jacket.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I can hear that. Yeah.
And so when it gets to the chorus, I'm like, oh, maybe it's a crown.
Yeah.
But then there's this post-chorus thing. But it's at that point that I'm like, it's a flame. It's a flame, baby.
Yeah. Is that the part that goes, yeah. Oh,
that's where I'm like, oh, it's a flame.
That's, the offbeat kind of drum beat stuff. It's so sick. Travis's drumming in this is like, it just brings a good song to life. Like Tom already has like great riffs and stuff, but Travis it's like he hears it and goes, I know exactly what you're trying to do. Let me just elevate it.
I completely agree with that. There's multiple songs I think where he elevates what is otherwise like an okay section.
And you hear it in the mix, like the drums are brought so far forward because Jerry Finn worked on this. We didn't even touch on that, but Jerry Finn is like, this is one of his masterpieces, and it's like he knows that that's one of the most exciting parts of the song.
Yes. I love the like hi-hat catches that he does at the end of each chorus. where he's like bouncing up onto the hi-hat. He's doing like a snare roll bouncing up onto the hi-hat. It's interesting, Travis's comments about it as well, because he's spoken about how the songs are slower than Blink songs normally are, which has allowed him more space. To be more creative as well. And I feel like this is a project where he like stands out so much.
He really like sings on this project, right?
Yeah,
like he's almost the standout on the project.
Yeah,
is the drumming. There's this great meme that I saw when I was doing some research. It's like a little SpongeBob, and it's like a skinny little SpongeBob. It says like Travis in real life, and then it says Travis in Blink, and he's like a bit bigger, and then it's like Travis in Boxcar, and he looks like the Hulk.
Yeah, right. It also reminds me a bit of Jinims.
He's a little self shout out there.
Yeah,
if I do say so myself, I think that might be where he got the influence from. Okay, so Watch the World. What'd you give this one?
I said Flame.
Oh, we've done it.
What do you mean?
Fine. That's the biggest gap we've ever had. Yeah, we've never done it. We said on the Christmas one, were we ever going to go Fine to Flame? You gave that a flame and I gave that a fine. What's a hand signal for that?
Whoa.
What's a hand signal for that?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Just like the most disappointing high five
Just like
for
a
you.
floppy high five.
Yeah. This is a hard find for me.
You know what though? I did sort of, I knew this wasn't going to be your cup of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this isn't, and it never has been. But in saying that, I'll get into my points in a second, but I can understand why people like this. I'm not offended by a high rating. It's just not for me.
I just find it such a moving song. I love how...
First forward bang.
Oh, yeah. Well, split the difference.
I gave it a crown.
Ooh,
we are closer.
I win.
Right. I win.
If it's a competition.
Yeah.
All right.
Which it always is.
All right, Flame Boy, tell us.
Well, so... I love the lyrics in this song. I love how the first verse is like his reflection on like things about the world, like negative parts about the world. And then the second verse is about like him having a dream about what it could like.
What it could be.
What it could be.
Yeah.
I've always found that super powerful. And I think the second verse, like some of the best lyrics he's written.
Yeah.
And then when the chorus comes in, I just think it's like a really moving song. And so I think just like emotionally, I connect with this song on a deep level. And so it's a flame.
That makes sense.
I was going to say the same thing. I really like the diaristic point of view of this song.
Yeah.
Like it's super emotive.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that I connect to on this song as well is it lyrically.
Yeah. It's cool when Tom takes it seriously.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Because he's obviously clever, thinks about the world and his position in the world. And,
which is really funny because I'll say him at this point now in a later song in my first punk song, he says about all these bands talking about their politics.
Yes.
That's what he does. This whole album has been that. I wonder if there is a level of self-awareness there that he knows what he's saying. I said, my first note is, this is the first hot take of the season, I'm sure. Like, I did not expect anyone else to say fine. But when you said flame, I thought you were going to say fine. I was like, same. It's like time slowed down there. I said, I never loved this one, maybe because it's not what I came to Boxcar Racer for.
Yeah.
However, I do say I love the bridge, the loud part of the bridge.
Yes.
I think it's real sick. And I can understand its positioning on the album. Like typically I say, why bring the energy down on the third song? For this album, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think it's fine. And I still give it a bit of a smile and like, it's a fine song. I just never, I don't ever be like,
it's just
I
like,
want to listen to
to be like, meh. That's what a fine song is. It's meh. To be like, meh over this song is kind of.
I can see where it's going. I wouldn't say it's a good song, but like to me, it's like, no, actually, you're right. Usually a fine is a meh, but like for me personally, it's a meh for me, but I know I'm happy for everybody else liking it.
Yeah.
I'm very much enjoying hearing why you guys like it.
I don't want to compare every song on this album to another Blink song, but it reminds me a lot of I Miss You, this song.
Okay, right.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm wondering what you rated I Miss You.
Well, I did say that I probably would have rated that lower than a lot of other people because I feel like it's terribly overplayed, but I ended up giving that a crown, I think, because I do think it's a crown song.
Interesting. So I think this is a better song than I Miss You. But and I also feel like it's a proto version of I Miss You. Like I don't think I Miss You happens without this song or without There Is. I also feel like it's very similar.
When they do I Miss You on the documentary, you see they have that little breakthrough moment where it just becomes magic. And like this is kind of like I Miss You if it didn't have that little production breakthrough. It's a little bit more straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean lyrically it's fantastic. I think it's great lyrically. If it was like a lyric competition, I wouldn't give it a fine. Like, you know what I mean? I just think that as a song, it's not my favorite.
Yeah. It doesn't have the musicality that you would be looking for. I can understand why.
I think, especially after the other ones, I mean, that's the thing. I still go, it's fine. But it's not like I can't bring myself to say, it's a good song. But I'm not giving it a fine like I've given others where I go, I don't really care about it. I'm going, it's fine. I'm happy for everyone who likes it, but it's not for me.
I hope your commenter crucifies you for that.
Yes.
Dan C3. I'd just make his name up each time. Dan C3 hater. But no, I just, I don't know. I don't know what it is about it. It's like blandish. It's just acoustic, just like a drum roll kind of thing. It's got a cool sound, I guess. I think this is intentionally simple musically to bring your attention to lyrics. And I think that's a really cool thing. But it's just, it's a song. It's not for me.
Yep. I can understand.
Yeah. That's interesting.
I'm not going to be critical of your fine.
I thought our first massive gap would be a punch on. You know what I mean? But again, you rating a flame and me rating it low. That's what the trend was last season.
Yeah.
First episode back, we hit the biggest gap.
And
we have to do find a bad now.
Yeah. No, flame to bad.
Flame to bad. That's what I mean.
Yeah. All right. Tiny voices.
Oh man. Flame for this one. Yeah. What'd you give it?
I said crown.
Oh, yep. What'd you give this one?
I'm trying to find it. Sorry.
We had the hype train going there for a little bit. Did that a little bit.
Fine.
No.
Bad.
What's the one under crown called?
Great.
It's great.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I love this song so much. I loved it back in the day so much, and I still love it so much. And I think that's one of my favorite things of the book club. I like seeing songs that I didn't like as much, and I've matured, and I would like to think, and I like them a bit more. Sometimes you have songs you love that just don't hit the same, but it's really cool when you loved a song when you back then, and it still hits
love it
now.
Yeah.
This is so good. I've got so many capital letters here. I still love this one so much. I said incredible verses, and what a chorus. And then the part of the everybody will be let down is so sick. But every section of this, usually, we talk about, and we just did before, about there's a moment that makes it go elevates from a crown to a flame. This whole song from the start to me, every section is a flame section.
Yeah, cool.
So it's just so good.
How good's the opening riff?
Yeah.
That's unlike anything that Tom's written.
No.
Which is so good. And then the beat that Travis comes in with straight away, again, is that like offbeat kind of, but also groovy offbeat. It's what's the word? Like destabilizing in a way, because it's not like a solid straight beat, but it still has a groove to it that you just kind of fall with it. It's really clever.
But it's also cool that there's like a rhythm to the vocals in the verses as well. That kind of, like, it's not like a rap, but it's kind of like, it moves in a really interesting way.
And then switches to the melody, like after 2 repetitions of the first line.
Yes.
Yeah, thinking about it. Also, the guitar work in the verses is just Tom sitting on. It's really weird. I mean, no offense to the other guys in Boxcar Racer, but I only just think it's just Tom and Travis. Like, I don't think at all like, what's the other guitarist doing or whatever.
Well, I think in the studio it probably was.
Yeah,
or maybe
Maybe
Kennedy, the other guitarist, might have been there in the studio. Okay. I'm not sure.
But you see photos of Boxcar Racer and you're like, that's Tom and Travis and 2 guys. And I don't mean to be offensive with that, because those guys have been in other bands. Like, but it's just the focus and the spotlight was so much on Tom and Travis.
I read a review of their first live show at some club in San Diego, and the person is like, the other 2 guys were like intentionally trying not to do anything to detract attention from Tom and Travis.
Wow.
It must have been so weird to be in a band with them, knowing that Mark's not there.
And also
so
Mark's
weird.
not cool with it, yeah.
But also, from what I understand, they're not part of the songwriting process, right? Like,
I'm not, the guitarist against David Kennedy. David Kennedy? Anyway.
That sounds right, but I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was involved. I don't think so, but certainly the bass player was brought in at the time when they started touring.
we could check the booklet.
That's true.
It's true. It's another interesting key
If only
change.
there was some nice spaces between what was written on the booklet, so I could actually go and find it.
But also, I was going to say in the verses, Tom's sitting just on 1 octave note and everything moves around him, which again is very blank. Like Tom just sitting on a single octave, which is just awesome. But I also love sometimes when songs have themes, it can be cheesy if they lean into it too much. But the voices in the bridge is actually really cool.
I was just going to say the same thing with the voice. Like, there's quite a sonic thing that happens. That's really nice.
And they're all like, people have isolated them. You can see them on YouTube and that. You can hear what they're saying. It's
I've always wondered. It's so hard to pick out like what they're actually talking about.
Well, I think it's just meant to be garbly thoughts sort of thing. And but they do it so well that I'm like, that's actually really cool. And then cutting back to the Tom singing really quietly kind of thing with the picky guitars and then smashing into another chorus. It's just to me, this is Boxcar like at their best, like when they're just nailing it. Not saying they don't maybe get better than this, and I'm not saying objectively that everyone will say that it's the, or at least, collectively, that everyone's going to say this is the best, but I think this is Boxcar doing what they do best.
Yeah. As you say, that contrast between like the pretty bridge back into that, like such an aggressive chorus to finish it.
And then everybody will be like down yelling.
I love Travis's drum part in that part of the chorus.
So it's like a heartbeat.
It's so,
yeah. In the background. It's like he's singing through or yelling through his drums. Like he's feeling it like it's a person yelling.
Yeah. Which comes back to what you were saying before. Like he's basically, it's like another melody almost in this album. Like the drums are just,
I think this song in particular, they stand out. And maybe that's what you're getting at with the previous song, right?
Yeah.
Is that it doesn't have this.
I think that's it. I think I turned to Blink-182. It'd be like this is such a wild comparison, but it would be like if like Dream Theater did an acoustic song. It's like I don't go to Dream Theater to hear soft acoustic songs that focus more on the lyrics, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I go for the musicality, not saying that they're comparable in any real sense, but it's like that thing of like I go to Boxcar for this, and when I hear just a pretty simple acoustic song, I'm like, yeah, it's fine. It's just not as interesting to me. It doesn't keep my attention as much.
Whereas one of the things I love about Boxcar is it's Tom expressing his thoughts about the world that he doesn't do in Blink because he's seeing, and what he does in Blink, I love. It's just it's cool to see him doing like using a different part of his brain.
Interesting, because he kind of, the song I would say that he does that the most in on Take a Pencil Jacket without really thinking too deeply is Anthem Part 2. Like very political and it's very similar. But maybe he was like, I've just got so much to say. I needed like a whole album to say it, not just off one. Maybe the label was like, no more politics. We need more like songs about aliens, you know? Yeah.
So what's interesting, we're 4 songs in and collectively 4 flames. Like we didn't,
oh my goodness,
we didn't each give them a flame, but that's 4 flames across the first 4 songs.
4 songs. That's
I wonder where this album's going to land.
Yeah. Alrighty, so Cat Like Thief, what'd you give this one?
I said Crown.
Really? I thought you'd give it a flame.
Oh,
really? I gave it a flame.
You gave it a flame?
Yeah, what'd you give it?
I also gave it a flame.
Oh, 2 more flames.
Let's add him to the pool.
We almost got a triple flame.
That's more flames than...
I thought you would give a flame to this song.
I love this song.
We're actually over it's now 6 flames for 5 songs. Like we're actually more flames than we have songs done. This song is one of my favorite songs ever. It genuinely hits me so far in the emotions that I don't know the emotion it makes me feel, but it's like ethereal and beautiful. And I never thought, and that's the reason I think I love it more, because I never thought Tom DeLonge could make me feel that way.
It's such a like, as far as like songs that kind of like create a feeling.
Yeah.
This one is just like such
a one drum beat and
it's
like
a loop.
One riff.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But it's this song seems to split people though as well. Like people either love this song or hate this song.
Really?
Yeah. Like I've heard a lot of people say like, I'd happy to leave that song.
Wow. I never went that far, but I did when I was younger. I loved the Tom bits, but the Rancid vocalist, to me, the way he's like sloppily around the words, I never loved, but then it grew on me and now I do love them.
And his voice is unique.
Yeah.
And I can see how that's not for everybody.
But he leans into
like
the weirdness.
The sound of his voice.
He doesn't just try to sing straight. He's like, in parts.
Yeah, it's like a bit like they've asked a homeless person to come over sing but it works. It works in every way. Yeah.
Because it makes the song stand out. Like there's no other song that sounds like this.
Yeah. I said the song is just so beautiful. It takes me straight back to being a teenager. It's perhaps the most nostalgic song yet, which I didn't expect. I knew I loved this song, but putting it on, I felt just like moved by the end of it. You know what actually it feels like? I feel moved in like listening to this in a similar way to how I feel moved by a moving piece of classical music. Yeah, it's got like a string-like movements to it that just swells. It's just like a lot of swelling because it's like, but then you sit back and you go, how are they doing that with one riff and one drum loop and a similar vocal line that just repeats? Like it's just layering upon layering. That's to me is like a demonstration of musical genius to be able to do so much with so little. And again, Blink-182, it pissed me off back in the day when like musician friends of mine would be like, what do you listen to that? Like listen to more like actual like musicians. I'm like, have you ever actually listened to how good they are? Like you can't say that the Beatles are good and you can't say that like Tom DeLonge isn't good. It's a similar thing. It's doing so much with so little. Like it's a similar thing.
I would say that this song for me, whereas, the other flames so far that I've identified, I can tell you pretty clearly what it is about that song that makes it a flame. You know, like it's this part where I really felt like it was a flame, or like I like that it's kind of really raw and heavy and whatever. But Cat Like Thief, I feel like it's very hard for me to pinpoint what it is that makes it a flame. Like
That's why I'm lost for words.
I can't really tell you why it hits me like that, because I think it's far more than the sum of its parts.
100%. That's a really good way to put it. But as you can hear, I'm struggling for words. I'm like, I don't know why it is. I can't say where it is. I do know that the crescendo of the song, like the biggest part for me is probably the most moving, where all the vocals are going and the lead riff comes in over the top at the end. It's so pretty.
Yeah.
There is a version of this online that I found that someone has AI'd in Mark singing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the bit.
Singing which part?
The Rancid guy's part.
Oh, wow. I want to hear that. That sounds cool.
And it's quite good, but it's like, and it sounds like Mark. Like it sounds like he's singing it.
Yeah.
but it strips the kind of weirdness,
which is probably what contributes to being so
part
good.
of what makes it work.
Did you know that Jordan from Newfound Glory is apparently on this song? I had no idea that was the case until I saw this document.
I checked
I did a bit of research.
He's like credited in the liner notes.
Yeah, it's a bit like Where's Wally though. Like,
well, apparently,
have you been able to hear where he is?
No, I haven't actually listened for it, but I did look up on Reddit, and a few people have said because he has quite a nasally voice, and so does Tom, they can get lost together. But apparently someone on Reddit said that he does the long drawn out "Don't Leave Her" that's in the background at the very end, and you can hear, if you're listening knowing it's Jordan, you can hear there's a little shift on his words that you can go, oh, that sounds like Jordan.
Because I swear I read at some stage when we were doing prep for some other album, probably the Newfound album, that Jordan did an impersonation of Tim Armstrong on this. Like that it was Jordan doing the Tim part because it's like his voice is so unique.
But they've still credited Tim.
That's someone who just saw that Jordan was on the song and just made up a narrative and just went with it. It was just spread online.
Were you guys ever fans of Rancid? Because I like the Wolves album. Okay.
And whatever that's called, An Outcome of the Wolves, something like that.
So I never went on to listen to them and never really made the effort, although I liked this song. And I always liked it.
Yeah. They're on
so I'm just curious
Tony
to hear
Hawk's
if
Pro
there's
Skater soundtrack. One of the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater soundtracks.
Probably recognize that song if I heard it.
Yeah. What's interesting is that I forgot to say this about the other songs. There are so little lyrics in like all the songs. It's really small. It's like Ramones-esque, which is like we'll never go that far, but still. But this one has so many lyrics. Like, admittedly, it's but
the chorus is still only "Don't Leave Her."
Exactly. Yeah. So it's not Tom singing it. It's like Tim Armstrong that's singing all the lyrics. But it's as far as like lyrical content in the song, there's quite a lot. The only thing I'll say is that like doesn't make me like the song less, but something that did disappoint me a little bit was in the document where Tom said, DeLong has said that this song is about a friend who has a really hot girl and he's leaving her even though he shouldn't, and you like her. And I was like, that's kind of disappointing to see such an immature, for lack of a better word, subject explanation on such a mature sounding song. And I feel like in other songs, he's so politically has such a wise perspective and it seems so mature. But then you have a song like this where it sounds like you want there to be some beautiful take on the world. And it's like, oh, he just has a hot girlfriend that he doesn't want to leave. It's like,
do you think he was
really?
He was kind of like playing dumb, like trying to just be the dumb guy?
I hope so. Like, honestly, I hope so because I feel like this song demonstrates a maturity that just wasn't there if that's the case, but regardless, still makes
it's also a classic example of like, just don't talk about the song.
Yeah,
just let it be.
Yeah.
Because I think if you just look at the lyrics, it's pretty hard to work out what this is about, really.
A lot of the songs are like that. I mean, some of the political ones are pretty straightforward, but there seems to be a lot of you kind of have to be like, you'd have to have it explained to you to fully get the creative vision.
Like the second verse where Tim's talking about like following someone home and then like he's going to get his crew around. Like,
yeah.
That's
got
that's
my
really
crew
weird.
coming out. Yeah, maybe honestly, it might just be like write a verse and then I turned it into something and it's just a moving song.
Yeah, but somehow it
we're
works
stripping all the good stuff out of it. Yeah, because it just feels like it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know about you, but like what makes it a flame for me is not the lyric "Don't leave her." Like that's the moving part. It's just the melody and the sound of it all. Like I don't feel like I'm hearing that part going. That part that he's singing is so moving because when he says "Don't leave her," I don't want to leave someone. I feel like that. Yeah, I just feel like it's the sound of the song.
And it's such a simple melody, but they build it so well. So like in the first chorus, it's just Tom singing that. But then in the second chorus, Tom singing that melody and it's like quite slow and drawn out. But then Tim singing "Don't Leave Her," but he's singing it like in the breaks quite quickly. And they contrast really nicely together. And it's the way they build these layers into it.
Yes, it's so
I also
layered.
think it's actually like, for me at least, the line of the cat-like thief. Like that's such an open metaphor.
Yeah.
Which, although some of the other lyrics maybe don't quite land when you interrogate them.
Yeah.
That the visual metaphor of a cat-like thief.
That's a very good way, especially
and it is open enough, I think, for you to interpret.
And explaining
which
romance, or at least someone participating in a romance as a cat-like thief is really good. A really good visual metaphor there. But yeah, I just think that I don't know. There's nothing really like this song elsewhere in the genre or kind of anywhere else. I think that this is just, maybe that's it. It's just, I mean, I remember hearing this when I was younger and being like, whoa, like when I heard it. So it blew me away then. It's not like I didn't get it and got it later. So I always loved this song, but man, it's so beautiful.
All right. And what'd you give it?
Right. I gave this one a crown.
Oh, okay. I said good.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you go?
I said great.
Oh, we're in the middle. There you go. Crown. Good.
This is the first non-flame.
Oh.
We've had flames for every other song.
It's like cricket. We're 6 from 6 now again.
Yeah.
We've cracked it.
Yep.
Okay.
We're back on even.
I think the drums are so interesting in this song.
Yes, absolutely.
And this is another example, I think, of where Travis's drums elevate what is otherwise like kind of mundane sort of section. Like to me, like the verses of this song are not that interesting, but Travis's drums.
Oh, that's a hot take.
Oh, you love the verses, do you?
I love, like, if it was verses alone, it'd be a crown for me.
Wow.
I love the verses of this song.
Okay.
Love them. And I
finally got someone calling you out on this shit.
like I actually wrote here, like I kind of wanted to, and I thought it maybe be interesting, but to like almost rate this like part for part.
That's
like,
how I typically end up coming to my rating sometimes, like crown verse, like good chorus, I'll settle with a great sort of thing.
Yeah. The verses for me are like, I love this song if it's just verses.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
I feel like the chorus is kind of corny.
Sure. Okay.
What is it about the verses you like so much?
I don't know. I just
There's
like
a lot of
I like the
energy
way
and angst.
I like the way the melody kind of goes. It's one that I kind of sing along to actually.
I think
Yeah, cool.
this
I found myself
has
singing to it.
I
Yep.
feel so kind of angst. Like the lyrics being, I'm lost in the crowd, I'm standing in line, I'm feeling so down and I'm full of doubt. She's not the one, take notice, hear me out. Like that's so like the angst of like a maybe not even a breakup, just finding out someone's not interested in you or something. Like there's a lot of teenage like love angst there, or just love angst in general.
But I feel like it goes from that angst, that depth to like quite a poppy like I want her neat. Like I feel it's quite upbeat.
Yeah, I guess you could hear it that way.
It doesn't fit for me.
I love the chorus.
So that's
as well.
why you rated it a bit down. Yeah.
I love the chorus as well. I love this one so much back in the day. So
you love the chorus, do you?
Yeah. I think it's I can see where Ben's coming from of it being like maybe a bit poppy chorus. I don't hear it that poppy, but I definitely hear it poppier. And to the point, maybe that's why it felt more familiar and like another catchy chorus that I liked. But this is an incredibly nostalgic song for me. Like it takes me straight back to being young. It reminds me of going to, there was a music store in Charlestown that I used to catch the bus to with Luke Dixon. We used to go up there all the time and just play guitars and chat and just be friendly or whatever because we just loved music. We'd be around it all the time. It's funny because there was one time a guy was in there and he was playing in the amp room and the guitar was horrifically out of tune, like cats screaming, like screeching, kind of terrible out of tune. And we're in the room looking at each other like, is he serious? Like, why is he not tuned the guitar yet? And the guy came back out and put it back on the stand. And Ken goes, "Oh, do you like the guitar?" He's like, "Yeah, it was all right." And he's like, "Yeah, don't worry, mate. You don't have to tune it." It was like, he was so funny being out there. But to me, this song reminds me of that because it was that era of like going up to the quarry and, getting it, like loving it, like gears and like guitars and stuff, looking at Mesa boogie heads being like, oh, maybe might want to play a Mesa amp. Like everything was just like, that's all I cared about was amps and guitars and stuff. Yeah. And this is, I think, an album that really made me go, well, it doesn't have to be like musicality and pop punk needs to be separated. They can kind of exist together. And that was really exciting creatively for me as well. It's like, I don't know, I feel like this song kind of did that as well.
Yeah, wow.
But it's a song that genuinely, when you first hear it, I remember when I first heard it too, I didn't think it was going to be good. Like the intro to me is not particularly exciting. It feels like there's a cool drum thing, but purely that's to try to put salt on a bland dish sort of thing. Like it's going to be.
That's my take, yeah.
Yeah, but then,
so what is it that makes it a crown for you?
When it comes in. I love the
chorus.
The whole song, when it gets in big and loud. Because
when it starts.
Yeah. But when it comes in with the, after the octave riffy thing, when like the song actually kind of explodes in a bit.
Okay.
I love the, it's a really interesting drum thing to not go, like the way he specifically hits the threes on the ride is really cool. And then I love the verses like Ben does, but the chorus is just big and catchy and it almost sounds to me a little bit Asthenia-ish, Link. It's got that kind of vibe to it.
In the bridge, there's these like panned, palm-muted guitar section, which is
very
a bit
Asthenia-ish. Yeah, I didn't write that note down, but it's very Blink sounding. I honestly think this could be a Blink-182 song. Like it doesn't sound like Boxcar as much as the other songs.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Particularly in the chorus.
Yeah. But the high harmony in that last chorus is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like it sounds massive.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right about that.
Actually, that's when I think the chorus does work, when that high harmony comes in at the end. Yeah. That's where I feel like it needed that. It needed to get to that point.
I like this one.
You do.
I do.
First non-flame.
And I do not.
First non-flame.
No, I do like it. I do.
Alrighty, so let us to God. Let's see if we can keep the flame for song statistic up. What'd you give it?
I said crown.
Okay, I gave it a crown as well.
Gave it a great.
Oh,
Ooh,
wow. Okay.
Interesting.
All right, we're under. Like it's disappointing. Like there's so many flames. Combined flames are so high. I almost gave this a great, so I can understand that. I actually thought going in I was going to, but when I heard it this time, I was like, when I was actually listening properly and not, I don't know, I feel like when you listen intentionally, like with intent, you're not thinking about like passively listening because you've got all pre-existing kind of thoughts about it. You're like, let's just try to hear the song. I was like, I loved it when I first heard it. And then I kind of got a bit bored of it. And then like hearing it again, I was like, this song is sick. And I love the ending. It's such a payoff in the end.
Yes. Payoff's a good way to put it.
Such a Jerry Finn piano line in the lead up in the bridge. It sounds like Stadia for the kids or stuff like that. And then straight into that big section, I'm like, it's so good.
It's such a like simple song with a simple message, but I just think it's so effective the way they do it.
Yeah. It is a very, very good song. It's as in like lyrically.
It sounds there's no like the theological. There's nothing opaque about it. Like it's very clear what he's talking about. Clear. He's not talking metaphorically, really. It's just like, I think the line, I swear I'll take just one lifetime, might be one of the best lines he's ever written. Yeah. I love that.
Oh, that's a hot take.
I love it.
As in like to do life over and to live a better life the next time. Is that how you're interpreting that?
I think it's, because to me, I hear this, I interpret the song as like, this is a person who's like dying.
Or dead. In my opinion, I'd say it's dead.
I guess that is one way of looking at it. Yeah, they're dead and like, am I going to get into heaven type thing? Whereas I was like, is it a person who's dying and knows they're going to be dead soon? And it's like, I need more time. And I swear I'll take just one lifetime is like, I'll get done whatever I need to get done.
Yeah. I hear it as like someone dead pleading with God to get into heaven and saying, give me another life and I'll do it over again. And I swear I'll get it right the next time I'm alive. Like it's a pretty deep kind of concept and thought. What I love about the song that I think elevates it to a crown for me, which is something that I don't think I'll ever have a note about in any other song for any other band, is it really sounds like the guitar he used for What Went Wrong off Take Off Your Pants and Jacket in like the bonus tracks. It's the one with the swearing written on the guitar. I'm pretty sure it's that exact guitar because they destroyed that like a TV show. That died in season whatever of the Untitled but they ran over it with a car. It sounds exactly like that guitar. And to me, I love What Went Wrong and like I love that Tom acoustic guitar sound. So to me, that was something that listening this time I really noticed and went, wow, I just love that tone. I said, this song was so iconic when it first came out. So many people gravitated toward it. I remember like on MSN and stuff, a lot of people that didn't really listen to a lot of, I know I said before that people were never really halfway into Boxcar, but when they were popular, people had the album, but a lot of people were like referencing Letters to God. I remember like with their status names and stuff. It was a very popular song back then.
I can't imagine that. Yeah.
It's interesting. I've heard this whole album talked about as a concept album before. Like,
yes.
you know, like an apocalyptic end of the world.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is one of the songs on the album where I feel like maybe that's evident.
Yeah.
You know, like it makes sense with that kind of, you know, I don't think I've ever heard Tom or Travis or the band talk about the fact that it's a concept album.
Yeah.
Have you guys?
No, but I've also read people say it's a concept album.
But I feel like this is one of the ones where you're like, oh, you can kind of easily connect this to kind of some of the themes that we're seeing elsewhere.
Yeah.
Well, I think maybe the closest it is that I've got a note that he says at some point, most of the songs are about the end of the world and dying.
That makes sense.
But
so
not necessarily saying that it was like conceptualized in that way, but just like the songs ended up being.
Right.
I think what's really interesting about it is that the acoustic 3/4 and then last quarter being loud was like a bit of a trend back in the day too, where you'd have like soft songs. Yeah. I used it in my music as well, but also like in Under Oath, Some Seek Forgiveness.
But it's effective.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
Yeah.
I remember my brother saying, I think I told you this on the show, when my brother fell asleep listening to Some Seek Forgiveness because it's so pretty. And then when they do the Jesus, I'm ready to go. And it's working straight up in there. So funny. I have a funny memory that came back to me while listening to this song that really made me giggle. And that's why I laughed in the previous song when you said about the harmonies. You probably don't remember this, Ben, but we're talking about Letters to God at school. And you were like, oh yeah, but Tom does his own harmonies. And I was like, yeah? And you're like, it's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, I just think it's really like a bit cringe essentially to do your own harmonies and not have someone do it.
Like have a couple of backups.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, but he has to do his own harmonies. I was like, I've never thought, I was like, that's it. And it sat with me for like a couple of days. I'm like, why is that weird? But like it was something that you said, it was just a little bit
like
strange.
A really profound observation.
But now we've learned that old mate from Newfound Glory is doing his harmonies.
Yeah. He's a nasal double, you know? He sounds similar, so people don't tell it apart. That's
stunt double.
But I was like, I just didn't get it. I remember going, I don't get why Ben thinks, why would it be bad to have two harmonies? Then I felt self-conscious about doing my own harmonies. I was like, I don't have any friends.
I have no recollection of this. I mean, it's probably just because I couldn't do my own harmonies.
Yeah, that's funny.
My first punk song.
I'm interested in, this seems like it could be a controversial one based on some comments that we've kind of passed around. I did not expect to rate it so high. I gave this a great.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah. I think this. Ben said to me today, I think my first punk song is going to lower my averages change my averages.
Well, I really wanted to take the rating scale of like what you guys do for interludes and instrumentals.
Yep.
For that exact reason.
Yeah, okay. That's an interesting debate to
but
have.
you can still use the that system on this. It's just that's more limited than this. Doesn't change it much.
Yeah, no, I guess it doesn't.
What? What'd you give it?
I said good.
What'd you give it?
I gave it fine.
Fine.
Is that a 3 or 2?
That's 3.
That's a 3.
Two's
No.
bad.
I gave it bad.
A
You gave it
bad.
bad. Okay.
I gave it bad.
I can understand that.
I could have not had it on the album.
Yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
I would have agreed with you because I hated this song back in the day. Like it was too trashy. When it's like my first punk song, I was like, oh, sweet punk. But I realized that that's not the punk that I thought punk was. You know what I mean? I thought it was going to be like pop punk. And when I first heard it, I was like, that song sucks. And I find it funny because the lyrics are funny, but I was like, it's like the song on One More Time was like, shut up, you talk too much. It's just, it's self-aware of how short and hardcore and punk it is. But now listening through, I'm like, I think it is exactly what the album needs because it's so raw. It's so funny. And how can you not like a song that ends with, I've got no dick? It's so funny to have that lyric in a song.
But also like just the lyrics for the chorus in general where it's like, I got brownies from your mother. It gave me syphilis. Like, it just makes no sense.
I love the part that says, didn't really either, but I guess it really doesn't matter. You took the time to listen to me, so I'll say, hey, I f*** your brother. It's like the most boring, stupid lyrics.
No, but that comes back to what you were saying before about how he says, sick of these bands, keep coming with their politics, and never went to school to find out that they were full of shit.
Yeah.
Didn't really either. So he is self-aware of the fact that he...
But I think he's saying I didn't really go to school to learn that I'm full of shit. But he definitely...
That's what I mean.
He spent the whole album talking about that. But also, more lyrics in 1 minute and 5 seconons than in like a 4-minute song.
Totally.
Yeah,
from
sure.
the other songs.
But is this also a song about Blink as well? Like, is this a song about him
I have no idea. I think
walking on stage?
I think that this song,
Maybe.
to me personally, I've only ever seen it as pure gibberish because it's like my first punk song. Like it's about nothing. Like I'm angry at the world, I'm angry at people or whatever. And I just talk about nonsense. Like it's, I don't know if it's too deep, but I could see someone actually pulling this apart and making it really deep and being like, he's making a statement about punk music in general, but like it's his first punk song. Like, you could really try to like make something of it, but it could just be a nonsense song.
the first chorus is like he's talking about running people down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and is that a reference to the bands that he talks about in the second verse? Where he's like, what are these bands that keep coming with their politics? Like, is this is like expressing his anger at...
It sounds like the ramblings of a madman, really.
Yeah.
It sounds like I want to run people down, and also I hate bands that do this, and also the brownies gave me syphilis. I've got no idea.
The overarching like expression of like you.
Yeah,
like,
I'm
on board with that.
Yeah.
If it was presented in a different way.
Yeah. It sounds like trash. It's so trashy.
And I guess I just feel like from my point of view, like I'm in a vibe with this album. And now I'm taken out of that vibe.
I think the reason I like it is because he's influenced by bands like Fugazi and Refuse. Not that they sound like this, but this has that kind of hardcore punk kind of vibe to it that is almost like an homage to those kind of influences. Not those specific bands, but other influences. I just think that Jerry Finn's hand would be pink from the amount of times he goes to polish and like, hey, you're not polishing this track. Please just let me do it. How could Jerry Finn let this song go so dry?
My history with the song is pretty much the same as yours. Like, I hated this song and I skipped it. Well, didn't skip it. There's no need to skip it because it's over so quickly. But like, I thought it sucked back when I first listened to the album. And now, I think because of last season, I ended up listening to quite a bit of like punk music that was
might be
more
it for me
like
too,
old school punk music.
Yeah.
Now I'm listening to this. I'm going, I actually don't mind this.
Yeah.
I still wonder if it's necessary for the album. Like, does it really work in the context of this album? But like, it's a Tom album. Like, it wouldn't work if it didn't have a funny, short song.
But this is the way to present it, because if he did just a pure jerk song, I think it would be like, on a boxcar.
Exactly. It needed to
I also think it's the best place for it. Like, if it's going to go anywhere, this is about the point where...
You're right, because you couldn't put it earlier, but if you put it as like a bonus little secret track, it would lose its impact. Like, especially with the next song being quite slow and pretty as an intro. Like, it's a really contrasty song.
Yeah.
I think that... I don't know. I just feel like, you know how Beastie Boys do like a hardcore song in like the middle of their rap stuff? It's like an homage to how, you know, the hardcore scene that they were a part of. Like, I feel like it's to me, it's just like a fun homage that is self-aware.
It's almost like a name-dropping track in terms of stylistically. It's
It's like, look at the stuff
here's my references.
Yes. Good point. Proving my kind of like street cred sort of thing.
Which is interesting because when you see my first punk song, you normally see the song title before you hear the song. So you go, that's what they aim to do. So I'm really kind of pulling this apart here, maybe unnecessarily so, but he, classic for me to overthink, right? but it's like my first punk song, and then he writes a song that he's implying was his first punk song. But no early Blink stuff sounded like this. So it's not really like that. Or did he write this song and then go, this sounds like an amateur band doing a thing, I'm going to call it my first punk song. And then it's like straight up being self-aware at his own.
Or is it, or conversely, is it a way of saying like, nothing I've ever written before is punk?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like
I never thought about that.
That other way
the
of putting it.
deepest discussion comes from this track.
Yes.
If you want a punk song, here you go. Like, I got no dick.
Yeah. I got no dick.
Alrighty. So, Sorrow.
I said fine for this one.
Okay. I can understand that. I guess it's a good.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been oscillating between good and great all day.
Okay.
Ooh, still undecided.
Mm-hmm. I think
How can we convince you over that? We'll present arguments and you tell me whether it's lower and be a good. Or actually, I can't convince you. I'm saying it's a good. So I'm saying it's a fine.
We'll just see if we can convince you to go lower.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's start there.
I said it's a great change of pace from the last song. I have to admit that when I had rated this song using the rating system, not like sitting down with it like to the extent that I do for the book club, but just a rough kind of, listen to it once. I might give it a that.
Yeah.
I actually had this one rated a couple of years ago as a great, and I had to pull it down because I don't think it's a great song. I don't know what I heard in it the first time to think it was great. I don't think it's great. So I pulled it down to a good for me. But again, that might also be the anchoring thing where you go, I had it at a great. Maybe if I just rated it from nothing, I might have given it a fine.
Yeah.
Because it does have fine energy. I can understand that.
Yeah. So I agree that I like the intro and the contrast from the previous track.
Yeah.
But and I don't have many notes about this song because I think my overall impression is it's just a bit, it's bland and lacks something memorable. So for me,
it's a bit nothing.
Yeah, that's why.
You know what?
It's fine. Like I'm not saying it's a bad song. It's just it doesn't. There's nothing about it that really grabs me.
Yeah, I said it's probably.
So, there is an exception to that.
Yeah.
My favorite part is the drum outro.
Yes, I've got that down here too. I said it's a really cool drum outro, so it works because it's Travis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it just shows off Travis's stuff.
And
Like
those drums as well. Do you remember, there's a clip when they're in the studio demoing the Untitled album.
Yeah.
And it's Travis just like
giving him a box of creativity, that part.
Yes.
Yeah.
The drum sounds so much like this.
The part where he goes, it's
Yes.
exactly
It might be the same beat,
I know
actually.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, Travis just gave us a bunch of stuff he already did for Boxcar.
Yeah.
I meant to say it's probably a fine song, but it's elevated by the production. I think the way that good old Jerry has polished a bit of a turd here, you know, sort of thing, so to speak, because it's not a bad song, using the saying.
Polished a meh.
Polished a meh. Yeah, I think that it's like, it's decent, but I think that it's elevated by the production. I wouldn't put it at great. I also like that it's not the last song, even though it sounds like it could be. You know, with the drum outro, it seems like that's the album fading out. I like that it's not the last song.
What was, you said you were oscillating between good and great. What was your thought? Take us inside your mind.
Literally all I have written here is bassline sounds like Opus. That's all I've got.
It does though. That's a really good point.
Yeah. The bassline sounds a lot like Mark.
Specifically, it sounds like Mark when he used to play a Stingray bass, like back in the day, like Dude Ranch era.
I'm trying to hear that. I can't
But
I don't remember the bass line.
it's one that I keep just because I'm struggling to like, I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I mean, but I've got nothing much to say about it. Like, it like
neither do I.
I think it's the right spot for the song.
I do think it's a great change of pace after. It's pretty and whatever, but even the lyrics aren't enough to make you go, but the lyrics save it.
There's nothing to kind of like grab onto with the lyrics either.
No.
It's just a little bit too vague.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
So what did you give in the end?
I said fine.
And you said good.
I said good.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go good. Yeah. I think you've convinced me that there's been nothing to talk about.
Yeah, who wins though? Because he gave it my rating, but you made him bring it down. So
it's a moral victory for me. There is. What'd you give it? I'm gonna guess what you gave this. Because I think I know.
Yeah. It's me in front of the army of hate that I'm about to get.
Yes. Yeah. You're gonna give. I don't think you'll give it a bad, but you'll give it a fine. Oh
no, I gave it a good.
You gave it a good.
Yeah.
Okay.
People love this song, and I've never loved it.
What do you think I'll give it?
Flame.
Yeah.
Did you give it Flame?
I gave it a Flame.
Just straight away knew. I think this is a you Flame all over it.
Yeah. Yes, I knew you would. It's weird. I knew you would know that, and I knew that you were going to like.
Want to kiss? What'd you give it?
I gave it a great.
Give it a great. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Because it's the single, right?
It is. It's the second.
It's also, when I was listening to it on Spotify, it's the most listened to song on Spotify of Boxcars.
Yeah, everyone loves
that. That's interesting.
The top, and even when I went to like Genius Lyrics, it's been viewed more than any other song by a mile.
Yeah.
I hate that. That makes me angry because Box have so much more to give than this.
I agree.
Yet this is what
I
people
completely
grab
agree.
onto. Like when people with
get
Blink, they're like, oh, Blink is so good. I love I Miss You and all the small things. It's like, man, there's so much more to Blink than that. And it's really frustrating that people only give those songs the most plays. Like they're not the best songs by the artist. Or showing what the band does best.
A Flame is like the song that a song you really like connect with emotionally on a deep level.
Yeah.
And I just find this song, I've always found this song really affecting. Like it was one of my favorite songs back when I listened to the album, when I first got it. And I know it's sappy.
Yeah.
But there's something about the lyrics that, like, it could have been super cliche, and it kind of is a little bit cliche, but like the specificity of the lyrics in each of the verses, I think, kind of makes it not cliche. And I think I've always found it really moving.
I think that a lot of people, and this is a massive generalization here, but I think a lot of people hear blah, 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 blah about a boy who loves a girl.
Yes.
And that's all they hear in the
but
song.
like you could, on one level, it's a really sappy love song.
Yeah.
But I think when you look at the lyrics and the verses, I think it's actually like quite a genuine expression of his like reminiscing on like this previous relationship, or like it's with his current partner, but it's what their relationship used to be. And
yeah, but I think that he says that, what's the exact line where he says, with every single letter and in every single word, there will be a hidden message about a boy that loves a girl. I read that as, which I think is actually quite profound, is that throughout all his depths of apocalyptic politics and rebuilding society and how people are, whatever, there's underneath it all, it ultimately comes down to love, because he's doing it because he loves someone and is looking after him. I think that's a really deep lyric, but I don't know if he means it in that way.
Perhaps not.
But maybe he did, and it's just incredibly profound. But I think that's really good. I have a note here that I said, this reminds me a lot. I say, Toy Padge Tom. This sounds so much like Take Off Your Pants and Jacket Tom. I said, it's like he was touching on a higher level of maturity that came out fully on Untitled, but he couldn't help on this album. Even though he's trying to get that out, he'd always end up pulling back into like Blink Tom. Like there's little moments where you go, that just sounds like Blink Tom to me. But other songs have this like depth and maturity that, you know, you just wouldn't.
Although for me, this is, again, the other song that sounds like I Miss You. Like this is, there's two songs on this album that I
understand that.
Keep going back to that, feel like proto I Miss You. But I think maybe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like this song is quite cinematic, I feel like. Like for me, when I listen to this song, I can kind of almost see visuals.
It's built for a video clip.
Completely, which is why I think it became the single,
Yeah.
because it has that kind of narrative quality to it.
It's got that like army marching kind of beat to it, and it just seems like a real, I don't know, it's cool, but I think that it's, again, not what I come to Boxcar Racer for, and I think that they show high levels of cleverness on this album, and I just don't think this is as big of a song as that, but I know a lot of people will just go, I love There Is, that's my favorite, and when you look up Boxcar Racer live, it's always There Is live here, There Is live, because that's the videos people can upload.
Jay, I'm with you.
Good.
If you need someone on your team.
That's right. Bloody F.
Wow. I feel like I'm the odd one out on this episode. Like more often than not, I'm like the outlier.
About time.
And I thought this was our album, Sam.
Yeah, true.
There's been some twists on the book club with that stuff where you always assume that things are going to be one way and they're another. We also, I'm really interested to see
Saves the Day. One of their albums is our album. We'll do that.
Can I come back for that one?
You can.
Yeah, Ben back for Saves the Day. That'd be fantastic.
I mean, what'll happen is this episode will get like 50 views and I'll never be invited back again. It'll be the worst one you've done so far.
It'll be Ben clearing the cache. like he did with the Am I Right? That's funny.
It's funny.
Alrighty, so the end with you. What'd you give this one?
I said great.
I said fine for this one.
Oh.
Yeah, what'd you give it?
Didn't think that.
Brown for me.
Oh, wow. We're all over the place.
I thought you may have crowned this one.
Okay.
This was the song I was most surprised by on the album. So
okay.
I guess I want to, I didn't say this at the beginning, but actually we were talking about this today. But I tried to listen to this album like I was my teenage self. Like I wanted to like really do my teenage self justice.
Yep.
This is not an album that I've listened to in 15 plus years.
Yeah.
I feel like, not that my music taste doesn't include the music that I listened to when we were teenagers, but just that I really wanted to do my teenage self justice. This was a song where I felt like I was really surprised by this today.
Yeah,
I was like, I really love this song.
Was this not a song that you were super into when you used to listen to it?
I was like, I would have passed by it for sure.
Yeah, it never grabbed me back in the day.
It's not a flame, but
Yep.
there's something that like I was like really into.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Surprising.
I'd have a note here saying that lyrics, I'm like mature again. Like after the last song, which I thought felt like Take Off Pants and Jacket Tom, we're back to mature lyrics again. I think that he just was touching on it. And I think they really, how cool is it that they did the Boxcar album, and Jerry was with them for all of that. And I think that probably played a huge part in the Blink Untitled album going, oh, we had not issues with this, but we're working on something here. Let's keep working on that for this album. Like there's probably a lot of like that they could run with for that. I wonder how much like, I don't know, maybe Mark was just like, don't bring Boxcar up. Then again, he was on an elevator. I said there's a rocking sound in the intro for this song. I said all the sounds are on point. So I just feel like the energy is a little bit draggy compared to the rest of the songs. It just feels like it's a little bit too slow for the song. It just feels a bit draggy. Even though it's loud, it's very loud. But I have one note here saying the bridge sounds a bit familiar, doesn't it? It sounds almost identical to all of this.
Yeah.
Like, it's exactly all of this. Oh, Easy Target at the end.
Yeah. I had picked that up.
It's the same riff.
Yeah.
So imagine that. Mark's like, where'd that riff come from? Nowhere. Nowhere. Don't worry, dude. Don't ask any more questions. But they just released it, and then they released it again a year later. Just maybe Tom was like, "I've always liked that riff. I could have done it better."
It's different enough, I think, that it's not like completely ripped.
I think it sounds so similar that it almost sounds like it's just a reference to a Boxcar song.
Oh right,
like, but honestly, I think what might have happened is that Tom was like, "Oh, actually, I had that idea, and we just wanted to throw it in a song, so we used it in The End With You." But it would be so much better if we did it at the end of the song the way they do it, and then into all of this. Like, it could have been
thought that
so
was
much
so
more.
clever the way they did it.
It's so clever how they do it. So I understand why they did it. But
the lyrics on this song, this is another one that like they're super profound. Like
I'm saying
and
like, mature again.
There's also more lyrics in this than some of the others as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Like we're getting this is one of the longer songs lyrically,
and like the apocalyptic theme. Yeah,
he was really depressed from his back surgery or whatever he's gone through because he was very much. It's weird that because you think that if that's what I'm talking about, the creatively inspired thing. If you came in and were like, Tom DeLonge's writing a more emo album, you'd be like, maybe because it was coming out and like people did it and it just came off cheesy, but he didn't. It seems like because he genuinely felt that way. He wasn't trying to write an album for people to relate to. He's like, this is how I feel. I need to get it off my chest. If you can relate to it, cool. But like, if you don't, who cares? I'm in Blink-182.
Yeah.
I also like, I think those opening lyrics of this song are actually like very strong. Like I don't read them as cheesy. Like our days are running thin. Our hopes will start to fall. I can feel the world collapse around me from within.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's like quite clever.
I think the lyrics are great in this song. I think they're really, really good. As I said, the energy to me just drags a bit.
Interesting. The letters keep coming by to let us know in time we'll die.
There's a lot of talk about letters, isn't there?
Yeah. Does it mean like handwritten letters? Because that's what it sounds like because it sounds emo, but he might mean like letters of words.
Yeah, but to let him know in time we'll die. Like it's just to let us know that we're like mortal, to let us like it's just he's quite a clever lyricist, I think, when he tries.
Yeah, also, we've talked about this. When he tries, that's a good point because I feel like he can default back to, and maybe he was trying, but he just would default back to other time when he didn't really know
or he felt constrained and felt like he couldn't express these ideas.
He was figuring it out. Because definitely when it comes to Blink, you separate it by half pretty much to Mark and Tom's songs, so he doesn't have to pump a whole album out of.
And I can feel the world collapse around me from within.
Yeah, it's very internal, like all the stuff he's going through. Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying. He sounds depressed.
I do love the line, maybe we'll be forgotten when the world is torn apart.
It's
like the idea we'll somehow avoid the apocalypse.
Yeah, but it's also very space and like Earth is small and can be ripped apart and there's like life without it or life dies with it. Like it's very like macro thinking. It's not like,
Yeah, it feels like it's starting to feel like just in terms of the songwriting style and the story and the narrative that like he's more and more backed in a corner.
Yes.
Is the way that I'm reading it. Like, and when he's remembering these, when he's having these kind of flashbacks, maybe we're getting closer to like the end of the world or whatever.
Yeah.
You know? It's more frantic, I feel like.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Elevator, what'd you give it?
I gave this one a crown.
Oh, okay. I said good.
What? That's crazy to me. This is one of the best songs on the album.
It's a good song.
I hate that little defense, you little lawyer boy. What'd you give it?
Crown for me too, man.
Oh, good job.
It's our album, Jason.
It's our album.
I feel left out.
Friendship ended with Sam. Jason's my new friend. I loved this song so much as a kid, and I still think I love it just as much now. To me, it makes perfect sense because to me, this isn't like another Cat Like Thief. It's the simple drum beat with like all the vocal work doing it. It's so simple, but it moves you. And then the weird stringy bits that come in with, I love that pitch bend that it goes out of key, like really cool stuff. It's very,
orchestra at the end, right?
Yeah. It's very, very Cat Like Thief-esque. So yeah, and we matched on that one too. So the energy is kind of there.
I said crown for Cat Like Thief.
Yeah, right. But we gave that a flame. So we gave it more than you.
Left out.
Only for these types of songs.
Yeah.
I think that the reason I gravitated toward it so much just because Mark's on it, and I really wanted to hear Mark on a Boxcar song.
And it works so well too.
Yeah.
Look, it's a really effective song. Like, it's a really simple song and a really effective song. I think maybe it's just
such a cool concept. The idea of a guy jumping off a building and like essentially it's the story of him falling off a building.
Yes.
Like,
and
what
kind
interesting.
Of, what kind of like regretting it immediately.
And then Mark's
like,
perspective of like seeing it from the ground, like of what went down.
Isn't this song about 9/11?
I think that is.
I
Also
heard that.
take,
Heard that somewhere, but yeah.
I always felt like it was 9/11 because it happened the year before.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, for
sense.
me, it was like, I mean, whether it's listening to it now or whether it was listening to it back then, it always was about 9/11 as far as I was concerned.
Mark sounds so good on this song. Like vocally, like the vocal performance, like him singing, like he sings really well in this song. It just sounds great.
It illustrates how well their vocals work.
Yeah.
Like with the contrast.
Yeah, it's like.
But he really had to show off what he could bring to the.
Yeah, he turned up in the beautiful dress,
like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sassing it down. I said, it's funny how it's Blink. It's 3-piece. So I would think it doesn't really sound like there's other guitarists going on here. It just sounds like it's just Tom, Mark, and Travis. But it doesn't sound like it's Blink. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Like it.
Yes.
Well, it does sound like the Blink that's to come.
I guess so. It does sound a bit like Untitled, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Like I think again, it's like it's a good taster of what we got very soon after
in like a softer form. But you're right. Yeah.
But it is Blink-182. All three of them playing a song together. It sounds like in a room together, but it just doesn't to me feel like Blink-182.
Yeah.
Like, which is real strange because even though they did the Untitled album, but I don't think this would have fit on the Untitled album. It just sounds a bit too different.
Yeah,
like you think it's still uniquely Boxcar.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
I do really like how the drum beat at the start, the snare is on like the 1 to 3, and then it changes to 2 and 4.
That's my last note.
That's really effective.
Yeah, the drum beat flip at the start is so simple and so Travis genius because it sounds like bat dum dum bat boom boom bat, and then it goes dum bat bat dum. It's like I don't know how they think about doing the loop stuff because now I can see why they probably were more open to it for I Miss You because they just come off Boxcar where he does quite a few like loop drum beats. But like, is it because Travis is told keep it more simple? I don't think so. I think it might be more of him being like, this is all the song needs. Like, I don't need to overplay. Like, he knows when to play little and a lot. That's the criticism he gets. Like, people say that he overplays. And I'm like, have you listened to Travis? He knows when to play nothing.
Yeah.
He's very,
this
very
is a great example. Like, this album, as you say, like, it's a great example of him knowing he's got all of these skills. He could do so many different things, but knowing to be able to identify what the song needs and just keep it to that.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And those skills do all come out at certain points.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. But he's happy to put it away.
The song's so catchy. It's just so...
I may have been harsh on this song.
Maybe.
In hindsight.
But
I'm not sure I would have given it a crown, but maybe I should have said great. Maybe a good is too harsh.
Yeah, okay. Look, you a little bit of
Would you like to change it now
growth
in front of us?
Oh, no, I've got to...
First episode back. I did it last year.
Stick to it.
Got to stick to my guns.
Where would it go? It would maybe go to a great, you think?
I think, yeah.
Blindly stubborn. Alrighty, so last track. It's just called Instrumental. What'd you give this one?
I said bad.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
First album back and a bad.
Yeah.
I gave it a great.
You gave it a great?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, what'd you give it?
I gave it a 3.
Fine.
Gave it fine.
Yeah, I can understand the fine. I don't really get the bad though.
My note is like, why?
Yeah.
Like, why is this? So I think Elevator would have been a really good song to end the album on.
Oh, good point. I like that. If you're thinking about it that way, I would rate it much lower than a great.
And
as far as I'm concerned, that's where the album ends.
Yeah.
Like it does end on Elevator.
Yeah.
I never listen to that instrumental.
I guess just because the album...
I just kale it.
Just don't even rate the end. I think that like for me, I've been so blindsided by all the creative decisions. I'm just with them for whatever they do. I'm not thinking, oh, I understand what you're trying to do and this doesn't fit within that mold. I don't really understand fully what they're trying to do because they're the ones with the vision and I'm playing catch up.
That's a fair point.
The idea of the instrumental at the end, I'm like, sure, if that's what you want to do. And that's a great sounding song, like to put at the end.
To me, it feels like to end the album on this song feels like a chord progression that doesn't resolve. Like it's not a bad
that's a really good point.
But it's like, I would like an album that resolves. And this doesn't. And I think
neither does the Angst he felt.
Maybe that's true.
Layering on top of
each other. But in saying that too, though, it does reference back to the beginning of the first track, where you have that little piano bit.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Yeah,
but
I'm just saying that like it does like there is a thread there. You can almost like say it's kind of a bit of a return.
Yeah,
there.
sure. Yeah, okay.
I think that what I like about it is that it's kind of it doesn't resolve melodically, but I think that conceptually and maybe perhaps thematically, as in like the themes of the band itself, not lyrically. Because you wrote lyrics are instrumental. I said great lyrics. Maybe unless, did you not hear that part in the bridge where he goes, instrumental? I think that this kind of is a good little bookend to the album finishing, or great, as I said, because it reminds me of Fugazi, like specifically the songs reminds me of Fugazi. And I think it's a really cool bookend for the album. But I think this song really shows off Tom's light and dark Boxcar Racer sound, which is what you heard of the whole album. Like the softer songs are the more light sound, and then you've got songs that are poppier, but then the dark and heavier stuff. This has the soft verses and the, whatever you want to call verses and choruses, but soft sections, loud sections, and you can kind of like, it just feels like a more chaos on the way out. And because it like just kind of goes nowhere, it's kind of like, it's almost like when songs fade out, it's because they're trying to imply that the song just goes on forever. Like it's that type of thing. It's like Tom's angst or whatever just keeps going. Like it just, and he's got no more words left to say. But then there's also a part of me that just feels like, is this just a song full of riffs that they never ended up turning into a song and they went?
That's exactly how I feel. Yeah. I feel like maybe it was too hard to write the lyrics for it.
Yeah, and they just went, let's just go
because when you hear those verses, it's like, well, that's going to be difficult to put something to. And maybe they tried and couldn't work it out.
Just put the melodic,
didn't want to scrap it.
Xylophone or whatever it's called, the glockenspiel over the top of it.
I like what you say though about how like it kind of calls back to the opening track with the little piano thing, and so it kind of is. There's a loop to it.
Yeah.
But I think,
I mean, and that ties in with maybe the theory that it's a concept album, right? That there is like this through thread that happens.
Yeah.
But I could happily still leave it off.
It mustn't be too important because it says here that this song was replaced on the cassette edition of the album with an instrumental version of I Feel So. So it's like even it lost out to another instrumental version.
Isn't it interesting though that they wanted something else on the album after Elevator?
Why? Is that because they don't want Mark to be the last thing?
Maybe, I don't know.
Why not?
It just seems like Elevator is such a good way to end the album.
Coming back with Blink, knowing what they did, maybe they didn't know what they're doing next, but it makes perfect sense to be like, and we'll be back,
Yeah.
It's like, I'm talking about the Marvel verse, like the credits roll, and then you got the little post-credit scene, and that's with Mark there. It's like, oh, Blink are back.
It's interesting though, because did you say it's it's I Feel So? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's instrumental, which is the first song, right?
Yeah, so, that's right.
Like it would be interesting to hear what that instrumental sounds like.
Yes. But is it the same arrangement?
Well, I want to hear them side by side. I want to hear the instrumental next to the instrumental of I Feel So.
Yeah, sure.
Just to get a sense of like, are those two things connected?
I wonder if the instrumental version of I Feel So is the same arrangement.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah. Or is it just stripped of lyrics?
Yes.
Or is there actually, have they like re-recorded it?
Yeah.
Or could it just be that it's due to the limitations of the format? Like maybe cassettes just didn't have enough space. Like they might miss it by 30 seconds and it's like, I Feel So shorter and we don't want, as you said, we want something after Elevator. So let's put an instrumental of the single at the very end.
And does it still hold up as a flame? Instrumental.
Ooh. Oh.
No. But
I wonder if we can find it though. Like, has it been ripped to the internet?
The cassette thing, you'll have to try to find it. Back to punk rock vids we go. We might not have time for Pop-Up Punk. We might genuinely not have to get changed.
Do it in our civvies.
I have to. All right, let's go.
What'd your average come out as?
All right, so for this album, I ended up rating it a 5.23.
Okay, mine came out as a 5.
Oh, okay.
It's interesting though.
That bad brought it down then because you were higher than me in some stuff.
Yeah.
What'd you give it, Ben?
5.23.
Oh, are you serious?
What was yours?
5.23.
Whoa.
It really was our album.
And do you know what did it?
What?
It's when I went down on what was the song that I went down on? I went down one
you took
one rating.
Yeah, okay.
That's what put it at 5.23.
5.23. Where's that put it on your board?
Let me get the board. Let's have a look.
It was meant to be.
It's an even 5. It makes it tied with Ocean Avenue.
Holy dooly.
It's an equal 5th place.
Admittedly, I forgot to put Ocean Avenue on my board, so I can't remember what I gave that.
I reminded you to do that.
You did, and I forgot. I was too busy setting everything up. 5.23 at the moment is my 3rd highest rated album ever.
Yeah, okay.
Coincidentally, just under this Untitled Blink album, but it puts it above Open Your Eyes. Open Your Eyes 5.18.
Mine is also just under the Untitled Blink album. Isn't that
crazy?
Funny? Yeah.
And that would make sense for both of you? You'd put it under, like if you had to think about it, you put it under the Blink album?
It's weird though, because
I've certainly gone back to the Blink album more than this album, but I don't know. Like,
there's a part of me that wants to like Boxcar so much.
Yeah.
Because it's so good and because like it's
I did the calculation a few times. I redid the calculation just taking off the instrumental in my first punk song.
Yeah.
Comes up a lot higher.
Wow. Yeah.
I call that the Smash effect.
The Smash effect.
That got me on season 1.
That's awesome.
Poor old Smash.
So it may overtake Blink if you strip those two.
Yeah.
Blink are also a good example on that album of people rating it really high, but then you say, hey, if you use our system, and which is fair, and you rate every song, and you don't just mentally turn off the last couple of songs that aren't as strong, you can't do that. You can't pick and choose the best songs and say that album's better than another one. Have to be rated all together. And I mean, our system shows where it should sit. So that's where it should sit. So anyway,
the system has spoken.
For the first time in season 2, you gotta begin right now. leave me hanging for the first episode back. How dare you?
Am I meant to hold it?
Yeah, when Sam's meant to say, I'm feeling
I've
this.
got mine. I forgot.
Okay.
I'm feeling this.
All right, I am feeling this.
Good, okay.
All right.
Who's
You
going
hold
first?
it, you hold it.
Sure.
You're the guest.
I'd like to hold it.
I'm happy to give my final
Oh, what about,
thoughts
can I
first.
use it as a
Go ahead.
pretty good? Oh, it's really raining. Are we allowed to talk about what happens outside the studio?
Thunderstorm? Is that a thunderstorm?
Yeah.
I was trying to say this before and you both looked at me.
No,
like
but it was.
I can't hear it.
It was the wind before. And now
Oh.
it's really raining.
I thought
okay.
it was a truck going past. All right, go ahead.
So my final thoughts about Boxcar Racer are that I really wish Tom did more of this. Like instead of going down the Angels and Airwaves path, I really wish he kind of went back and did more Boxcar style because it's like you've got all the angst that we loved about Tom in Blink, but it's a different sort of angst. Like Blink angst is kind of like angst about like adolescent insecurity, whereas this is like the insecurity
Like a tongue-in-cheek angst.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Whereas like this is the insecurity of like a more mature person that's thought about their place in the world and like their vulnerability.
I have to say, every time anything new Blink comes out, I'm hoping for Boxcar like riffs. When Terrified is on One More Time, I'm like, I grabbed onto that so hard because I just really want to hear Boxcar elements.
Yes.
And like I'm tugged along anything he creates.
And like I said before, like I feel like when Tom tries to do something in this kind of vein, it's really effective. Like when he tried again, when he did Angels and Airwaves, it was almost like he was trying too hard. He was trying to be really profound, whereas here, this feels way more genuine.
Yeah.
Um,
This is what comes out creatively, whether he likes it or not. And other stuff might be what he's trying to shape out of him creatively.
Like this is not cultivated. This feels like this just came out. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. The other thing I love about this is I wonder if this is Travis's best album. Like the contribution that Travis makes to this,
musically,
I reckon, musically is like super effective. Like the number of times he elevates sections that might otherwise not be as interesting. His ability, as we were saying before, to kind of know when not to overplay.
Yeah, when to play and when not to play. Yeah. I totally agree.
And I don't remember when I listened to this back when I was like 15 or whatever, really being as drawn into the drums as I was when I listened to it this time. Like this time I was like, whoa, the drums on this album are like amazing.
Because we have
the drums
a lot to compare it to.
really well.
Yes.
Yeah. We have so much to compare it to now with the book club too, is like you don't hear this kind of creativity from drummers typically.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, Ben, what'd you give it? What's your baguette?
Look, as I said before, like I really wanted to honor my teenage self with listening to this album.
Mm-hmm.
And so the takeaway is that I just think it is still, regardless of where my music tastes have gone, it still holds up as a really fantastic album.
That's sick.
And I would encourage anyone who's remotely interested in the genre, particularly if you are 14 or 15, and have a bit of angst, to go and seek this album out, because I think, again, and it's a big part of the reason why I picked it. Like it was a album for me that opened up new pathways in like the broader universe, right?
Yes.
Like into screamo, into hardcore, and so I guess that's why I picked it. It's like I'm super thankful for this album.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And how good of a feeling is it when you revisit an album and it still hits the same? It's like, because you can reflect upon the fact that everyone grows up and everyone changes, but there's still parts of you that still are affected in the same way. And there's something kind of comforting in that because you don't feel like you've changed, but you haven't lost yourself in the process, sort of thing, like who you are. That's good. I love this album. Like it's so good, but I'm going to say what I love about it is slightly different to what you guys said.
Yeah.
I think this is another Jerry Finn masterpiece. Like as far as production goes, he's so good at what he does. And like, I mean, like you see him touch albums like Enema where he polishes songs that were almost like, were already good, but he takes them to like the next level, right? I mean, I'm not saying that these songs are bad and he polished them into something good here, but it's really, I mean, it's not that hard for a good producer to polish something like that, right? But it's really hard to polish something and keep the emotional rawness without over-polishing.
Sure.
And this album is so raw where it needs to be, but so polished that it's accessible for the broader public. Like to me, as someone who has produced albums before, I think that is like the sign of like S-tier capability and creativity and like production, understanding what you're doing. It's one of the hardest things to do is to keep the raw essence of the band, but make it accessible so that you don't have to already be like a niche fan or a nerd in the genre to actually appreciate it. He made it accessible for all the Blink fans who like to take off pants and jacket, and then later on to listen to the Untitled Blink album, to come back to Boxcar Racer, to find it accessible is really hard, especially when you got songs like My First Punk Song, which just sounds like you've just recorded that in a tin can. But he's managed to make that work on the album in some kind of way that makes it so that it works thematically on the album in some way. I think this is one of the best experimental albums of the genre ever. I don't think there's anything better than it. I mean, tell me where I'm wrong, but I don't think any bands have come out with anything experimental that is as good as this. And I think a lot of it, as we talk about, Tom is obviously way better than people give him credit for and has way more to offer than people probably at the time thought he had to offer or was capable of offering. Travis elevates everything, as you said. But I also think that the third person in this band is Jerry Finn, and I think he's the reason it was so good. I can guess what it might have sounded like with another producer, and we're looking at a totally different sounding album.
Yeah.
And far less accessible. And I think a lot of people would come out of it going, not for me. But a lot of people love Boxcar Racer, and I think that is Jerry Finn is as much to credit for that than as the other guys are for sure.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I love that you've also added Jerry Finn to the band, but we've wiped the two other guys.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's so true.
Their contribution wiped.
Oh. It's like, just turn up and play live, I guess. Alrighty, so that is it. Thank you so much for joining us again for yet another episode of the Pop Punk Book Club. Thank you so much for being here, Ben. Honestly, man,
thanks for having me.
It bums me out to think that we can't do this all the time because that was really, really fun. Thank you so much for listening. Remember, if you want to help us out in some kind of way, you can leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of the episode. Chances are we're going to read it out on a future episode, as you know. Or you can leave a review on a podcast platform. I'll thank you forever for that. Thank you to everyone who did send through emails and suggestions for the new season. We got way more response for suggestions for the next season than we anticipated. So
we ignored them all.
Yeah,
We've
exactly.
prepared a schedule that conveniently
steps
steps around all of them.
We refuse to be told what to do. We have to. No, definitely. We've got so many. So many albums have been suggested that I've never heard of some of them at all. So I've never even heard them mentioned till they were actually things that better be good. Maybe I have a spreadsheet of people and what they recommend. You get a done. No, I'm not taking any more recommendations. No, I'm kidding. But I'm really keen for that because the whole thing is about broadening horizons. So thank you so much for listening. I don't know if you guys can hear it. It is midnight here now and it's thunderstorming so hard outside.
What's up, guys? It's Sam from the Pop Punk Book Club. We're back for Season 2. We hope you enjoyed our first episode of the season where we sat down with our good friend Ben to talk about the Boxcar Racer album. We had a hell of a lot of fun. In fact, we had so much fun we forgot to tell you guys which album we'd be covering in next week's episode. Now, I know what you all must be thinking. How can two professionals like us make such a rudimentary mistake? Come on. I'm sure you expect it from us by this point. We were going to blame Greg, but our goal for this season is to be nicer to him. Anyway, next week's episode is Bark Like a Dog by Screeching Weasel, a fantastic 1996 pop punk album. If you love mid-90s pop punk, you will love that album. So make sure you have a listen and then check out our episode next week where we sit down to break down that album and give our song ratings. We can't wait to see you there.
But we are running out of time. So we're going to get to Pop with Punk, but we don't even have time. As Sam said, we're going to have to do it in our civvies. We are running out of tape on the cameras, so we're going to have to get straight to it. But we can't do it without the clap.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
It's time for...
I move on the lounge because I forgot to sit in the right spot. That happens. Anyway, go ahead.
It's time for Pop with Punk.
All right, it's Pop Punk in the style of Shakespeare. You get one verse, one chorus, and one guess. Let's go.
You get to play this time as well.
I've never got it before.
It's time for Pop with Punk. A letter of betrayal. To thee, once called my friend. In our tender years of schooling, we were tutored in numbers and names, yet never schooled in those arts that matter most. How a man should bear despair, nor how to endure the quiet ruin of a heart undone. For 12 long years I stitched my composure tight, wearing patience as a practiced cloak. Yet a night such as this comes like a cruel hand, tugging hard at every seam, threatening to tear me clean apart. I held my tongue and played the modest shadow, leaving thee to deeper discourse, while I lingered where I felt least seen, haunting the edges of the household like an afterthought. I recall with bitter clarity how I told myself thou never wouldst betray me so, and now I know a darker truth. I could wish thee hurt with a fury known only between those who once named each other dearest. For all I have marked thy ways now, nothing of thee remains unseen. Is this then what thou names escape? Speak plainly, what sin dost thou believe thyself to have fled? I have witnessed greater backbone in creatures without bone. More courage in children scarcely past their youth. Thou arm'st thyself with bravado and call'st it strength, yet it rings hollow. Take thy leave, if thou must, numbing thy thoughts with cup and careless confidence. Go thy way under heaven's cold eye, and if fate should trouble thy journey, know that memory may yet summon my name to thy mind, unbidden and sharp. Let that thought sit with thee, heavy as consequence. Do I need to continue?
No, I love
it. I do have some more.
That's a fun one.
There is a part. Well, what is it? Well,
No, I mean,
Okay.
I tuned out. It's midnight, and I was like, I
have to say,
it feels like a bedtime story.
it is so easy with Pop-Up Punk. If your brain doesn't get it, your brain goes, well, I'm out. Just like you stare at your monkey, start clapping with the cymbals in your head.
and you start panicking if you don't get it in the first couple of lines.
Yeah. It's
It is.
Yeah.
Nice work.
thank you.
That's amazing.
For
It's
12 long years
That's-
is another
a good hint.
Another hint.
But when you said does thou have the spineth of a
that part. Maybe we should cut that out because that's too much of a giveaway.
I should have got it.
It wasn't, but it was
read that line again. Did you guys get it? That's a bit of an easy one to get started for to get the season started. Welcome.
That's a bit of a criticism.
If you know the song, it's
Okay,
I got it
all
pretty
right.
quickly.
Yeah, I knew you would.
Yeah.
And others might get it.
It's so specific to the song that it's fun.
Sure.
It's fun. It's satisfying when you get it. Easy doesn't mean bad.
All right.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you next week. Just going to Lagos. That's good.
Yes.
Hope not.
Did you check your messages?
Yeah.
12
There was a
missed
few
calls.
times I checked.